Tick-tock, time to rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's watching from all over the world. It's your friendly neighborhood philosopher here. And with me is my ace in the hole, my Nat King Cole, my Super Bowl, my Tootsie Roll, the Apostate Prophet. How you doing, AP?
Not so friendly. Good. How are you?
Not so friendly.
Not so.
Super Rage Apostate Prophet.
Yeah.
Hey, AP, have you heard about this? People are saying there's two-tier policing in the UK, meaning they'll police you differently depending on which group you're from. You could be saying something, and if you're from one group, they're going to treat you in a certain way. If you're from a different group, they're going to treat you with some kid gloves. You heard that sort of thing?
Well, obviously it can't be true. That's I call BS on that, because that would be discrimination and would not be appropriate and not allowed. So I don't think that's true.
Yeah. I don't believe it either, because it's the UK, man. It's the UK.
Yeah.
And if they did behave like that, then I would be very happy that we dumped your stupid tea into our stupid harbor.
Yes.
Why? Because we're Americans. We drink coffee, not tea.
And I would personally go to the UK and incite rebellion and tell everybody, get up, let's go out into the streets.
Don't give up. You're right.
Overthrow this government. I shouldn't say that.
No, you shouldn't even say that, even joking. You know, like 80% of people don't understand when they're joking, and then they message me, David, I can't believe you said.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
But seriously, folks, scientific research has confirmed that tea is 100% estrogen. And British people have been drinking it for a long time. Americans understood it, dumped it in the harbor, started drinking coffee, and became the most powerful nation the world has ever seen. Coincidence? No.
That can't be right. I have been drinking tea all my life.
Yeah. Hey guys, so we're going to talk about this two-tier policing system that we keep hearing about. We're going to go through some video clips. Ready for some video clips, AP?
Yes,
okay.
Indeed.
So I picked up a variety of them. A couple of them are from things we watched a couple years ago. Like we'll watch a clip of Hatun, watch a clip of a woman who was just quite silently praying, but she's like on the same street as an abortion clinic. That was frowned upon. And of course, some new clips. We got some new clips, and then we'll be comparing how our jihadi friends are treated completely differently.
Be careful with your words, man. These are sensitive times. You say new clips. It sounds like you're talking about nukes. You're going to arouse panic.
Nude clips.
See, I didn't even think about that.
We've got nuke clips or nude clips.
Yes.
No,
yes.
We got new, as in not old clips.
Okay, good.
All right, let's go ahead and start with one. The audio's a little rough in this one because it's just a guy, but so this guy, he told so this was after the attack on Bishop Marmari Emmanuel, and this is a guy in the UK. He was talking to his priest, and he's like, how is the church not standing up against what's happening right now? And him saying to his priest that he's concerned about why Christians don't stand up against what's happening. This got, I think, 4 people sent to his house, like mental health people, police, and everyone to come find out and make sure this guy isn't about to go off the deep end and go on a killing spree, because he said the church should stand up to something. So we'll go and watch this real quick.
Let us do so.
Hello, my name's Sean. I'm a senior nurse. I work at the NHS.
So he had asked them their names and stuff, and so it's different people.
Name and number, please, mate.
Yeah, PC Green, Echo Bravo 428.
This guy 12 years old.
I'm Joe, PC Turner, Hastings Police Station,
Thank you.
959.
So what's this about then?
So it was just a few
I won't film it,
concerns.
I'll just get it recorded.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just a few concerns.
It's smelly right now, sorry.
It's all right.
He's like a mop, he just picks everything up.
It's lovely. What's his name?
A weird noise. Oh, it sounds like I don't know if that's a TV on or someone screaming in the back, some kid screaming in the background.
So why are you here today, sorry? No, you can all sit down, it's not a problem. You've literally just missed the missus and that. They've gone out like 10 minutes ago. Yeah. So what's the issue?
So it was just to, obviously what we've been told, that you might have a few concerns, a few things that are bothering you at the moment.
Yeah.
Whether there's
That's
anything
bothering everyone else in the country right now. So what are the concerns you're here for? Because this
You
is
catch that? So she says, we've heard that you're concerned about something that's bothering you. Yeah. A bishop getting stabbed 6 times while live streaming a service by a jihadi who's trying to silence him. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about that. I asked why people aren't standing up. That's it.
It is kind of weird that somebody's being tortured in the background and nobody cares about it.
Yeah,
apparently,
no.
but this is a bigger
You got
problem.
some kid being tortured in the next room by who knows who.
Yeah.
And these, but they're more concerned. See, there's your 2-tier policing. I bet next door it's some dude who's a jihadi torturing some kid, and they're fine with that. This is a jihadi.
Yeah,
religious
except they come here and they're like, mate, it looks like you've got a problem, mate. There's something bothering you, innit? I'll check on you mentally.
Well, yeah, I'm bad because they're torturing the kid over there. Well, yeah, mate, but
yeah, we don't care about
you're not
kids,
allowed to
innit?
be like that here in the UK anymore.
right now, you know. Because you wouldn't be knocking on Muslims' doors if they had this conversation. Sorry.
Ouch! Gosh, I didn't even catch that. I didn't even catch that. I put some of these. I grabbed some of these clips and didn't watch them very carefully. But he called them out. He said, "You would not be at a Muslim's house right now over something like this." Gosh, let me rewind that. That was interesting.
whether there's
That's
anything
bothering everyone else in the country right now. So what are the concerns you're here for? Because this is religious discrimination right now, you know. Because you wouldn't be knocking on Muslims' doors if they had this conversation. Because I already know why you're here.
That's true.
So this is religious.
Why do you think we're here?
I don't know. What's the priest told you?
What's the priest told you?
People have raised concerns
What concerns?
about your views.
What
whether
views?
that you've got concerns about what's going on in Australia.
Yeah, so I'm an Orthodox Christian. Now you've
Did you hear that? So he's an Orthodox Christian. He's concerned about Australia. He's saying, I'm worried about what's going on in Australia. And that's too much. That's too much for the British police. They swarm in there. Surprised they didn't SWAT team him. Surprised he didn't get swatted. But yeah, so they come in there with a couple of officers, a counselor, a psychiatrist.
up at my house because I went and see my priest. So I'm going to get you all on film because this is going straight to my solicitor.
As it should.
So what are your concerns? Is there anything that we can help with?
No.
They stabbed him 6 times. Can I be concerned about that? Gosh. What are you concerned about? Well, you don't understand. It doesn't matter how many people get massacred as far as what we're concerned.
Firstly,
he could just say, "Hey, you know what? This is none of your business."
Yeah.
Thanks.
That would be an American thing to do.
Bugger off. It's none of your business.
You got a warrant.
Yeah.
And I have a right to remain silent.
I don't want to talk to you,
no.
mate.
Firstly, I don't mean any disrespect to any of you. I don't want to sound abrupt if you can tell me why you're here.
So I think, as PC Sands explains, so there was a report about some beliefs being expressed. So the reason I'm here is because I work for the NHS, and if you're willing, I'm happy to talk and listen with you
that's
about
fine.
if you've got any concerns about your well-being.
No, I'm fine. I'm
so
fine.
You can find
I'm fine. I'm bothered by the fact that a bishop just got stabbed in the face by a jihadi. That's what I'm worried about. It bothers me.
Well, it seems a bit unusual, doesn't it? That you're bothered by something.
Yeah, aren't you used to this by now here in
the
the UK? Come on, man.
People get stabbed by Islamists all day long.
Yeah, the jihadis are doing this all the time. How can you not be used to this then, eh, Governor?
Yeah, it looks like you've got a problem here, innit? So what is it then?
From Mrs. Apostate, we've got, I'm glad to be an American.
I'm proud to be an American.
Mrs. Apostate, I know you're married to a foreigner, but I have to correct you. It's proud to be an American.
Oh.
It's a song. You know, it's weird. We used to have to actually memorize. We had to learn the song back in school in the 80s.
Yes.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. Now it's all Cardi B and Sexy Red in schools.
I don't understand how the lyrics of that song make sense though, because it goes, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Okay.
Yeah. At the very
It
least,
seems
you're
kind of
free.
it seems a little bit off. An American, where at least I know I'm free. It's kind of it's a bit strange.
Oh yeah. Dang. Leave it to some nitpicky German. That's that German in you, man. Nitpicking some little things right there.
It is.
Yeah. Why are you singing that? It's much better to see. You know what makes more sense? Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles. That's grammatically correct. See, precise German language. No sloppy English.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Klaus, out. Sorry. No, because he's just jarring otherwise. You can sit down, mate.
So my understanding is, now I'm not a police officer, I'm a nurse, so my understanding is...
So because I've questioned about the church not acting on the behalf of Christians, you're now turning up here with mental health nurses, assuming that I'm some right-wing nutter.
So no one assumes anything. Can I explain my point of view? And you're happy, I'm happy to...
Anyway, that was the whole clip that got posted. It looked like he was on... I noticed lots of clips are limited to like 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I don't know what platform that is, but... there are millions of clips that are just exactly 2 minutes and 20 seconds long.
It's quite funny that the response that the guy gives is like such a usual response. Oh, we're not assuming anything. Okay, why exactly did you come here after it was said that I have certain concerns about what is happening to my fellow believers in Australia? Why exactly did you come here? What is the problem? Are you saying that that this is so extraordinary, that this is so weird, that I need mental health professionals to come here and talk to me together with the police? This is so absurd.
It is pretty wild. So anyway, UK sucks. Anyway. Take a couple super chats real quick, then we're going to jump into this next clip. I believe the next clip I pulled up is from a year or two ago, when a woman who was just praying quietly. Keep in mind, not protesting. She wasn't blocking people from going into the abortion clinic. She's near an abortion clinic. She's not praying out loud. She's praying inside her head. So keep in mind, she's doing something like, God, please convince this, some woman to rethink this situation, to rethink what she's going to, that's it. And that's too much. That was too much for the UK. Do you think they would be even slightly concerned about a Muslim praying? I can't even imagine it. I can't even imagine them walking up to, you got Muslims like taking over streets and stuff like this, and they don't stop them. This woman quietly prays in her own head near an abortion clinic. That's too much for her. That's too much for the British police.
It is too dangerous. You can't have people praying except if they're Muslims.
Oh, I think it was Solitary Emmy who gifted a membership. Guys, it's right here. It's right here on this thing right here. I just recorded an awesome video this will be my Tuesday video, but I'm going to edit it tonight, so it will be up there. If you're a channel member, then there will be a video up in the morning. Everyone else, that video will be up Tuesday, which you will absolutely love, unless you're a super huge fan of Richard Dawkins. So, AP, don't watch it. You will cry yourself to sleep.
Stop bashing the great prophet Richard Dawkins, please.
And I may or may not have referred to him as Professor Donkey Brains in there. Anyway.
Oh, no.
We'll see.
How could you do that?
We'll see what happens. It's pretty epic, though, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pretty epic video.
I believe.
Dor says, hey, guys, do you know the channel Pal Watch?
Yes, I do. That's a quite old channel. I wasn't even sure if they're still continuing, because I remember that from many years ago. But you can still find a bunch of stuff there. They do. They literally watch Palestinian media and social media and share things with English subtitles. That's what.
By the way, that memory and stuff like that, some of those channels, those are some of the most important channels in the world.
Yes,
they're doing some very important work. If you get a chance, support the channels that are taking the stuff that people are saying and making sure other people are aware of it. Zidra the Xenomummy says, I don't know if that's a reference to I won't even say it. But it might come up later. Hi guys, Xenomummy here.
That's good.
Met Ali Dawa in real life, was in the produce aisle looking at the grapes, and he was staring at me lustfully with those dead gerbil eyes of his. I don't want to talk about what happened next. Ouch. True story.
I believe it. I will
UK
believe it.
UK police is acting rather cheeky, isn't it? Yep.
In it.
Cheeky. Every time I hear the word cheeky, because we don't say cheeky in the US, but I remember my kids when they were little used to watch Thomas the Tank Engine, and it's who's the cheeky one? Is it Thomas? It's like Thomas. He's the cheeky one. Okay, yeah. So, but I didn't know actually what cheeky. It's like happy or joking. Someone who jokes, right? Jokes around, something like that. I don't know. I don't even know what it means.
Wait, it never occurred to me that Americans don't say cheeky. Is that
Nope.
Is that true? Huh.
If you said someone was cheeky, that would probably mean she got like a big butt or something like that. Big round butt.
See, this is what Americans do.
See?
That's what they do.
Guy says, to be fair to the British, the last time Christians stood up for their rights, it became the American Revolution. They're still mad about that, so they're still cracking down on Christians to this day. That's pretty funny. I'm going to steal that, guy. I'm going to steal that, and I'm not going to give credit because I never do. Hazrat says, Muhammad here says, Rushdie's satanic verses are perfectly preserved. The Quran is not. Draw your own conclusions. That is a very, very powerful point. Satanic
this is
verses,
a good point. Yeah.
Perfectly preserved. Quran, not. Therefore, it's a superior book. Benjamin Cohen says, don't know what the Metropolitan Police is worried about. This guy could never catch me alive anyway. And by Ezra, he sounds like a weakling. Allahu Akbar. That's from Benjamin Cohen.
Benjamin Cohen.
Benjamin Cohen again. He'll never catch me. By Ezra. I think it's funny. Jews really need to start saying by Ezra, I swear by Ezra and stuff like that, just to troll some guys.
Oh man. They really need to be aware of that more. I don't know. They need to the thing is, as we pointed out before, quite frequently, Jews don't really concern themselves with what Muslims say about Jews or what Muslims say about Judaism and all that.
Yep,
so they're not really aware, they don't really care. But they probably they generally find it funny to learn that Muslims actually, or that the Quran actually says Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep.
Weird. Oi, mate, let me take a right gander at your being concerned about being stabbed license or your right knacker uses. It is funny that you can talk about certain areas and you can't even understand what they're saying.
Yes.
I'm going to bloody wet myself. This is a Christian channel. Why is that donkey-brained atheist speaking instead of writing on whiteboard like Smiles to Jenna?
Oh, yeah. Smiles to Jenna. I should have a whiteboard here somewhere.
I've got a whiteboard around here somewhere. Yep, I got a couple of them. Oh, we should do it. We should parody that somehow, man.
We should.
The whiteboard thing?
Yes.
You see, the name Apostate Prophet is not grammatically correct. How dare AP try to correct anyone's grammar? That is the Wingalings domain. Yeah, those Wingalings do like to try and correct people's grammar. Too bad they follow the worst person in the world.
That's what they do.
Tarantir says, I think I should make a career out of trolling Armin Navabi in his Persian Discord server. There is this one guy, Helman, watching over 18 stuff. What? Is that what they're doing over on Armin?
I don't believe that. That sounds like a bunch of slander. Yeah.
And Zidra the Xenomummy again says, her, please save me. Ali D grapes me daily. Grapes me daily. Okay.
Yeah. For those who missed it, there is footage where some Muslim apologist Ali Dawa, as he's trying to have a debate with me, he is being live on camera raped by his fellow Muslim apologist. So that is
dangling a grape,
which is why this is a meme now.
Yeah, guys.
live
So
on camera. They used to-
keep in mind when we're talking about dude Ali Dawa being graped by a dude and stuff, we're like, that actually happened. He thought this was a good idea. It was going to make him cool and impress his fans, and
Yeah.
it didn't work out the way he thought it was going to work out. And it just seems like lots of things he does don't work out the way he thinks they will.
Yeah, their idea of being great is hey, how about you grape me on camera and see what happens?
dangle those grapes in my mouth here.
Yeah.
Fulfill all your fetishes on me whilst we's live here. Dead serious, guy. We're not even joking. I mean, we're making fun of it, but it's exactly what happened. All right, next clip up. We've got a woman confronted by police because she's standing near an abortion clinic. She's a little bit down the street from an abortion clinic, but since she's standing there and she's super quiet, they get a suspicion that she might be praying, and they go to confront her to see if she's actually praying. They know she's a good Christian, so she's not going to lie.
That does sound.
What are you here for today?
Physically, I'm just standing here.
Okay. Why here of all places? I know you don't live nearby.
But this is an abortion centre.
Okay, that's why you're stood here. Is you standing here part of the protest?
No, I'm not protesting.
Are you praying?
I might be praying in my head.
Not protesting. I'm near an abortion clinic. Are you praying? I might be praying in my head. That's it. In my head. Not even audibly.
So I'll ask you once more, will you voluntarily come with us now to the police station for me to ask you some questions about today and other...
Will you you're out here praying quietly in your head. Will you voluntarily go to the police station so we can question you about your prayers in your head?
Where there are allegations that you've broken public space protection?
If I've got a choice, then no.
Okay, well then you're under arrest, okay, on suspicion of failing to comply with the Public Spaces Protection Order, which is under the
What?
antisocial.
What is she under arrest for?
Violating the Public Places Protection Order. There's some protection order that you can't be within a certain distance of certain places like an abortion clinic and even pray. You can't pray. She's praying within a certain distance of an abortion clinic, and she's under suspicion of violating the order against praying near such a place. So let's back that up a little bit. See exactly what they say.
You're under arrest, okay, on
You're under
suspicion
arrest.
of failing to comply with the Public Spaces Protection Order, which is under the Antisocial Behaviour Crime and Policing Act 2014. Now, of course, you don't have to say anything. It may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you later on in court, anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand the caution?
You don't have to say anything because it may harm your defense. You imagine you're under arrest now. If you say anything about whether you're actually praying, because all she said was, I may have been praying in my head. And so she was under arrest, and they're going to find out if she was actually praying. And she's given the right not to incriminate herself. So she's warned, you don't have to actually say what you're doing, because if so, then you would be hurting your defense in court, where you can be put on trial and be on trial for whether you were in fact praying near an abortion clinic. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff.
I need to read about this. I'm looking up the law right now. It is actually defined as being in the vicinity of a public spaces protection order is which prohibits protests and vigils from taking place within a safe zone outside clinics where abortions are performed, and so
that looks like it might have been police overstepping a bit, right? Like, so he's interpreting, vigil. Well, if you're praying in your head, then you might act, I don't know, we might be able to count that as a vigil or something like that. And so we're going to lock you up until we get this all squared away. So there are multiple things here. So on the one hand, we live in the US where you can protest things all you want. If you're on there, you can't do it on their property. So you can't go up on their property and block people from entering the door and stuff like that. If you're on public property, you can protest. So if you were on a public sidewalk near an abortion clinic or something like that, there's no one's going to stop you. In the U.S., I mean, in theory, you can even here you have police who will overstep the laws. So you got one thing. So but there apparently they've made a laws, and you can imagine someone saying, hey, you shouldn't be allowed to protest outside an abortion clinic or something like that. So apparently they made laws like that. Nor can you have vigils or anything. So then there's a question of like, okay, if someone's not protesting, not lighting candles, not saying anything out loud, just in the vicinity and praying to herself, not yelling at anyone, not stopping anyone for anything. And is that too much? Is that too much in the UK? And then the issue of concern beyond that is, okay, if that's how strict you are about the mere thought of a Christian praying, are you like that with Muslims? Who just take over entire streets and just block the streets and stuff, and all block the streets, block the sidewalks, just bowing down and stuff like that. No one says a word to them. No one says a word. All right.
This is a very new law, I think. As far as I understand, as far as I see, this is a law that only came into power last year in 2023. That's
weird. They had to crack down. All right, couple super chats, and then we'll go into our next video clip, which will be Hatun. Hatun from, when was that? Like 2 years ago, something like that. 2 years, 3 years, something like that. Brit here. We got some the lingo being explained. Brit here. Cheeky just means lightly mischievous. Oh, and the police act like this because gaslighting Christians is easier than solving anything. Yeah, that is true. And I guess the gaslighting, as far as Christians are concerned, is like if you're concerned about anyone doing anything, you're the one with the problem. You're the one who's got a problem, and there's not because there's an actual problem. It's because you are insane, Christian. That's what I mean. Think about this. They actually showed up with like a counselor and a psychiatrist and like two cops. Tell us, what is it that bothered you? I don't know. Bishop got stabbed in the face and stabbed a bunch of times. And why would that bother you? It's not even in the same country. Why would that bother you? Because I'm an Orthodox Christian. I'm an Orthodox. Hey, can I be concerned about that? No, yeah. Well, look, we're here to talk you through this. Bunch of nuts, man. These guys are nuts. You should develop a. I love this. This is the best idea of the day. You should develop a winger watch. I'm gonna make a channel called Winger Watch, and call out Mike every time he calls someone out or a wingaling celebrates him. That is awesome. Yeah, we can say, look, here's another wingaling celebrating this guy. We'll treat the whole thing like a cult, which it is. The wingalings. Police is scared that the mob will lynch the Jews. Yeah, we're going to talk about that because we're going to watch that clip. What's bigger, the Talmud or the Hadith? The Hadith. If you're taking all the Hadith books into account.
That's a good question. How big is that? I mean, yeah. The thing is, if you take all the Hadith into account, there is no limit to the Hadith because
you could come up with new Hadith collections right now if you wanted to.
And they are not organized. There are so many of them which are discredited. If you want to just take the 6 books into account, which are known as the 6 books, I wonder how long that is.
Yeah, so the 6 collections. So here he's talking about like Sahih al-Bukhari's 9 volumes in English translation. I've got 2 versions of Sahih Muslim. One is puts it all in 4 volumes. One puts it in 7 volumes. But you're talking about these multi-volume collections. Yeah. So AP is saying he's wondering if you took just those 6, they're considered by Sunni Muslims their best collections, which would be bigger. That I don't know. If you were talking just all hadith, all collections, and they've got tons of them in different languages and stuff like that, then I would say the hadith would be longer. Yeah. But I don't know. You'd have to count them up.
But there's also a difference in how like the hadith are just it's just a vast collection of narrations, and there are so many repetitions, which is why, for example, I have a book here which I showed several times, which is Sahih Bukhari in one book with all repetitions removed. So this is the book, Sahih al-Bukhari, all in one, no repetitions, and it is like this. The actual collection of Sahih Bukhari is significantly bigger than this, but with all the repetitions removed, it comes down to something as small as this, which is I don't know, 600 pages or something like that. So if you actually removed all the repetitions and all the information of like this person's related and this person related and that person said and this person said and so on, it would come down to shorter books and would be significantly shorter than the Talmud. But if you want to take the whole thing into account, it's longer than the Talmud.
Super chat here. Freedom of speech does not exist in the UK. Well, it does if you're calling for Sharia. Certainly does. Zedro here. Wash down those juicy grapes with some... What's wrong with people? There's an AP fan over here.
Yeah.
We've got... She was 9 years old, says, not even UK police could stop me from saying she was 9 years old. They can't stop the perfect move. Yeah, that's true. They did, they did snatch him up and slam him against the wall and stuff like that, but they didn't stop him from saying it.
Yes.
Because that's what happens when you got the perfect move. A slaughterhouse for kids is a safe zone. Wild. Yeah, I mean, even from praying, apparently. Again, it's one thing to say to block protests or something like that. It's something else to say you can't pray anywhere in the vicinity. David, thoughts on Nick Fuentes versus Sheikh Uthman debate on Christianity, Islam, Catholicism? They debated? Oh, apparently Sneeko wants to set that up. I mean...
That would be stupid.
Isn't that the weirdest thing? I mean, they might have me rooting for Sheikh Uthman against Nick Fuentes.
It would be ridiculous. Even if Sheikh Uthman accepted it, it would be very ridiculous because there would be an actual Islamic scholar or self-proclaimed Islamic scholar agreeing to debate with a nobody who is a political activist and who tries to represent Christianity or Catholicism in a very skewed and very weird way. That's it. It would be like us saying, okay, I will debate the great Muslim apologist, and I don't know, debating with some...
Yeah, it's just it's a weird situation.
If a scholar, if a Christian scholar, if like William Lane Craig said, yes, I accept to debate, I don't know, think of somebody, some random idiot.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like Sneeko. Like if William Lane Craig decided to debate Sneeko.
Yes.
I can't put Sheikh Uthman in the cat. And he's not like William Lane Craig. I mean, he's again, there's a guy who, if you send your wife to him for marital counseling, he'll bang your wife and then marry her even though she's still married to you. This is the same guy who faked a hate crime against himself and then blamed us, and it was all fake, and then he screwed up and blabbed too much, and then it became like even more easy to prove what had happened. But it's like when I just said, you guys might have me rooting for Sheikh Uthman. It's because you said, what, against Christianity? No, I do not believe that guy is going to come within 1,000 miles of accurately defending Christianity. And that's why, I mean, it would be more like a cult. It'd be more like a cult versus Sheikh Uthman. It'd be like, I don't like that cult. Anyway, it'd be a weird situation.
I actually disagree. I would think that I would put them into the same category. Sheikh Uthman and William Lane Craig. The issue is just that William Lane Craig is a good scholar with Christian values, whereas Sheikh Uthman is a good scholar by Islamic standard with Islamic values. That's the problem.
Yeah, so they do have that similarity. They're just different in every other possible way. D says, I am Atheist Republic's news editor. I am offended by such blasphemy against us. How dare you? That is a good point.
Alhamdulillah. Oh, D, much respect. Yes.
Yes. Stopping Gestapo 2.0 is the perfect move. That was so good. I mean, if I were to make an all-time like top 10 clips of anything, that guy's like definitely top 10 of all time.
That guy's beast.
Cry a river to the sea, a nation Palestine will never be. Oh, cry a river to the sea, a nation Palestine will never be. I'd still like I'd still like to see them eventually get a state. If you keep reverting to terrorism, it's just not going to happen. So and notice that's your fault. That's your fault, people.
You know what's funny? I'm looking up that law based on which they went and arrested that woman. It is an extremely vague law, and
That's
says
the
that,
problem with vague laws.
yeah, you cannot protest, intimidate, or record without consent, or interfere and obstruct, people near an abortion clinic who go there or leave the place. However, it also broadly and vaguely includes engaging in activities that could harass, alarm, or distress individuals who are accessing services at the abortion clinic. So you could point at a person who is standing there idle and say that person is distressing to many of the individuals who are coming here and trying to access the services, and the police can thereby, under that suspicion, detain that person.
Yeah, anytime you make a law that kind of includes how you're affecting others, like mentally or psychologically or something like that. So in the U.S., it's a problem that there are like breach of peace laws. Now, I have no problem with a breach of peace law. You need to define that very, very clearly, because if you don't, then any cop who doesn't like anything you're doing or saying, it's causing a bit of a ruckus here, so it's breaching the peace. Right? It needs to be very specific when you're talking about stuff like that. And here again, it would never occur to them to go after a Muslim for violating any of those rules. So this is the problem, guys, with you can get the same result as like Sharia in a completely different way. When we were in Dearborn, what got us into trouble in Dearborn? Well, a couple things got us into trouble in Dearborn, but here's what happened. So at the 2009 Arab Festival, Christians for years were showing up and distributing copies of the Gospel of John in English and Arabic and so on the public sidewalks around the Dearborn Arab Festival. Now, you can say you don't like that. Guess what? It's the United States of America. It's a public sidewalk. You're allowed to hand someone something, right? Just like a Jehovah's Witness can show up and knock on your door. Just like a Muslim has every right in the United States to come up and hand you a Quran if he wants to, right? Like, what's the actual harm? If you don't want a copy, you don't take it. No problem there, right? Anyway, But you had lots of Muslims and lots of Muslim leaders complaining, wait a minute, there are Christians handing copies of the Gospel of John and handing out tracts on the public sidewalks around the festival. What are we going to do? So they make this law. They make this law that no one can hand anyone anything within a certain distance of the Arab festival. So we're even talking, not even on the public sidewalks around it. We're not even talking in the actual festival. Even on the public sidewalks around the festival, you couldn't hand anyone anything during the time of the festival. But what did they do? I took video. I took video to prove it. But you could walk down the public sidewalks. People are handing out things left and right. Muslims are handing things out. Businesses are handing things out. The moment you try to hand anyone a tract, boom, they would take a picture of you, take you to police. But then it got even worse. Even Christians who said, okay, we're not allowed to hand things out. We'll just preach, right? We'll have conversations and so on. Once they found out you were having conversations about Christianity in the area, we're not even talking about like in the actual festival. We're talking about the public sidewalks. If you were having a discussion about Christianity, they had it set up where a Muslim would walk up to you and ask you for something, and someone else is sitting there with a camera. But a Muslim would walk up to you. You're Christian, so you're a Christian. You're there having a conversation with a Muslim. You're having a nice conversation. You're sitting there. And another Muslim would walk up to you and say, hey, you're a Christian. Do you have a Bible? Oh, you have a Bible? Could you let me see it real quick? I want to look something up. And as soon as you hand him the Bible, boom, they take a picture and take you to police. Look, this man's distributing Bibles.
Wow.
And then, of course, they locked us up at the 2010 Arab Festival. But guys, keep in mind, we have the Bill of Rights in the United States. You have a right to do certain things. What you'll do is you try to come up with a law, and then you enforce the law selectively. And something like that's going on in the UK right now. And it's the same thing that would happen with blasphemy laws, right? So if you came up with a law, which some countries are doing, you come up with a law that says you can't insult other people's religions. Guess who that's going to be enforced against 100% of the time? critics of Islam. That's who it's going to be enforced against. It's never going to be It's never going to be enforced against a jihadi saying, "We will subjugate the world. We will subjugate all you and kill you all you ex-Muslims." It will never be enforced against you. So they make a law, but guess what? What is that? What is that the same? That's a Western version that has the exact same result as Sharia, where Muslims are allowed to say things to you. You can't say things against them. They can't enforce that directly by enforcing Sharia in a place like Canada. What do? They say, "Oh, well, it's just a rule against hate speech, against religion, anti-religious hate speech." But then the way they enforce it, they only enforce it when people speak against Islam.
Yeah.
And you get the exact same result as Sharia.
This is why we need to overthrow the American government and install a dictatorship where we can prevent such things from happening.
I'm glancing at some of these comments here. AP, you want to look this up real quick? Zidra the Xeno Mummy. My friend turned Muslim because of Sunan Abu Dawud 4465. I'm hoping this works. I don't know what that reference is. Not sure what it is.
There is no
4465.
prescribed punishment for one who has sexual intercourse with an animal. Abu Dawud said Atta is also so. Al-Hakim said, I think he should be flogged, but the number should not reach the one of the prescribed punishment. Al-Hassan said he is like a fornicator. Abu Dawud said the tradition of Asim proves the tradition of Amr. Something is weak. But yeah, this is the hadith.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that, and this is something that, I mean, Joshua Little, who did his dissertation about the age of Aisha at Oxford, this is something he pointed out, because you can look at other passages and know you're in trouble. You mess around with an animal and so on. And this is an example of what he's talking about, where Islam was regional, right? You go to one area and they're rallying around the teachings of one guy, and he says, yeah, it's okay. You go to a different area, they say, no, it's forbidden. And then when they come up with their sort of pan-Islam, no, we need one Islam, then they start, grabbing hadiths from different areas and so on, and getting some conflicting teachings.
Yeah. You need to get that throat checked out.
No, never happened.
Okay.
Trudeau wants to bring in halal mortgages now. Well, surprised that hasn't been in there all along in Canada.
Where is Sharia? Why is Sharia not here yet? I'm waiting for Sharia. 2
vid ideas. Tucker, Putin interview, but Tucker Carlson has to use a whiteboard.
That's good.
2, Tucker Carlson converts to Islam and marvels at things that were copied from Christianity. Yeah, that would be good.
Wow. That would be funny. That would be funny. That's what it looks like.
Nick Fuentes versus Sheikh Uthman is Hitler versus Stalin 2. That's what we should label it as.
Yeah.
Shaken Bacon says, I believe in Muhammad's original message that all pork is delicious. However, Uthman, because he liked turkey bacon more than real bacon, corrupted the Quran in order to teach that pork is haram. That you're absolutely correct. This is not even joking.
That is true. That is true.
Mr. Woods, stop picking on Mr. Winger. His videos have solved my acute insomnia after 20 years of no solutions. That's the thing. If you're following Mike Winger because you think he's some great teacher, then I regard you as evil and a total nerd. If you only listen to him to fall asleep, that's okay. Just make sure you cleanse your brain of the teachings. Was she convicted of that vague law in the UK? I don't think so, since I never heard about her being convicted. If I had to get with it, what they normally do with these things is try to intimidate people. So in other words, anytime we see you praying or something like that, we're gonna harass you. It's the same thing with that guy in the clip, because he said something to his priest. They're not actually going to arrest him or something like that. It's a form of intimidation. We're going to mess with you. We're going to come over. People get intimidated by that stuff and they change their behavior accordingly. But yeah, I don't think it would actually stand up in court silently praying. Even if you if you go with just the wording of the law as AP read, it doesn't seem like they could actually defend it. So I would guess not, but I haven't followed it.
She was arrested twice. At first they arrested her, and then the judge dismissed the case against her. And then she went there again to pray, upon which she was arrested again. But later, I think, as it seems, the police actually dropped the charges.
Yeah.
What a joke.
No, it's okay.
This is what they're dealing with.
Have you guys ever done a video on how everyone in the Quran sounds just like Muhammad? As in 5 different people say the exact same thing in Surah
Yes.
192. So, yeah. Have we ever made a video on that?
Even Jesus sounds
Yeah,
like
everyone
Muhammad.
sounds exactly like Muhammad. Isn't it funny? Like all these guys from different countries who spoke different languages, and yet they all sound exactly like Muhammad. Shocker.
That was the funny thing when I thought many times when I read the Quran, how it supposedly quotes Jesus and what he will say or what he did say. It's like Jesus is suddenly speaking in a very strange way, exactly the way the Quran's author generally speaks, exactly the way Muhammad also happens to speak, which is of course a coincidence. It's very strange.
That would be a good video though, because it makes a powerful point.
It
so
does.
definitely think about that. If I can't find someone else making an awesome video about that point, I will. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of G.K. Chesterton. So Chesterton wrote Chesterton is basically as witty as a person can possibly be, like the sort of wittiest, I guess, atheist was like Christopher Hitchens on a retort. Like G.K. Chesterton's like the GOAT of all time. You can't possibly get any wittier than that dude was. But he wrote books like Orthodoxy and Heretics and The Everlasting Man and so. But he also wrote works of fiction, and in his works of fiction, I read a couple. Everyone talks exactly like G.K. Every character talks exactly like G.K. Chesterton. In other words, you'll have like 7 characters, some good and some bad, and they all talk exactly like G.K. Chesterton. They're all like the most extremely. Every person is the most extremely witty person in the world. Actually, I read like people who knew him said he just talked like that in real life. Like he's just talking off the top of his head, and that's exactly what he talks like. So, and interesting fellow there.
That is funny.
But yeah,
and we know that Muhammad is also the author of the Quran, so it makes sense that everyone else also talked like him.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Dirty PDF Mo in the dirt. Yep, he is. UK almost forced a Catholic woman to abort her baby. What? People out of control.
I don't believe it.
The Lost in Jail, Matt 44. The Lost Book of the Council of Nicaea. The Lost in Jail, Matt 44. You have heard it was said, love the Muslims and hate the kuffar. But I tell you, get on your knees and urinate on one another. I'm just worried that new people won't know what we're talking about. That is a direct quote from Muhammad. It's all urinating upon one another. It's what they do.
Get on your knees.
It's what they do. All right, let's jump into the next video. We're not going to watch all this because it's a long video. We just want to get the gist. This is a couple of years ago when Hatun is being harassed and surrounded by Muslims, and guess what the British police do? Right? Protect the person, protect Hatun, protect her, protects the ex-Muslim woman, protect her rights.
What they do.
Is that what they're going to do? They're going to protect Hatun? Is that what we're going to do? Let's check it out. Watch. What sets everything off is you'll see it. A guy comes up and snatches the Quran, which I gave her. Don't worry, everything was fixed because I gave her another one. This was after, so it was after the famous holes in the narrative interview where everyone started making fun of the Holy Quran, but talking about how it's got holes in the narrative. Anyway, someone had stolen Hatun's Quran that she brought there. So I said, I'll send you one to bring. And I sent her one that was, I drilled a bunch of holes in it like Swiss cheese and stuff. And then the guy stole it from her. So don't worry, guys. This was all taken care of. I did make another one for her and award that to her. But right here, a guy's about to come up and steal her Quran. Can you imagine stealing a Quran? A Muslim stealing a Quran? No, well,
yes, I can.
No, you see the guy walking up right behind her. See that right there? He just snatched it. So you can kind of see him sneaking up behind her. Super tough guys. Can't beat her in debate. So we'll steal her Quran. Yeah. See that guy right there? It's right over her shoulder there.
What will she do?
Stole it. Look, and then ran. You see that? You can see him bolting in the background, running off into the distance. I got it, ladies. Alhamdulillah. My service to Allah is stole.
Allah will be proud of me forever.
And now David Wood is going to do it to another Quran. See, I got Quran's with holes all over the place. Yes, guys, I can make as many holy Qurans as I want. I have a drill press. And look, I have drills all over the place. I have a giant drill press. I got drills with cords. I got little. I can do this all day long. I got piles of Qurans and tons of drills. So get that through your stupid heads.
David bought drills just to do this.
You could either live with the fact that there is one Holy Quran with a bunch of holes in it, or you could steal that and then there will be more. And there will be more because of your decisions, guys. Now, look, the guy ran, but then... She's going off in search of her Quran.
This is the power of Islam.
You see, Islam is so strong.
Catch the idiot Muslim! Catch the
Okay, she's back. Wait for Hatun. This is like a 14-minute video. So okay, she's back.
Catch the idiot Muslim! Idiot Muslim!
Why is this guy saying idiot? Be nice, man.
What? Why?
What? He's mad. He's yelling idiot Muslim for stealing her.
Trying to stop me filming right before it happened. Why are you involved? Why are you involved?
When are you going to stop stealing my material? That's awesome. All right, so let's see. So they stole her book. She's asking, when are you guys going to stop stealing my stuff? So this goes on, this goes on, this goes on, this goes on. So this got to be right before police come in. Looks like she's setting up a camera here. When do the police get here? Because I know they lock her up. Let's see. Okay. Whoa, they snatch her up. Yeah, I asked her about this, why she's fighting back. She said she freaks out when people like snatch her up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she has a reaction to it where she automatically pulls back. She's not even like, hey, you don't have a right here, and I'm gonna stand up for my rights. It's when someone grabs her. Look at this. They're coming at her. They're coming at her. She's standing there. What did she do? You hear the Muslims cheering? Look at this. Knock some lady over.
Oh, okay, darling.
They got her, ladies and gentlemen. They got Hatun. Look at how they're carrying her.
You know, I have some
holes.
questions, and the questions are several of them. Like, is this really how the police is trained? Is this really how they are supposed to act? Is this really appropriate behavior or appropriate reaction to whatever is what do they even think is happening here? And are they aware that this is actually a mentally traumatizing thing that they're doing here and that they're subjecting her to. Gladly, Hatun is a very strong woman. Somebody in her position could react. Somebody else in her position could react completely differently, and it would probably be justified. Her just fighting back here is, I would say, totally justified. Just from a psychological point of view, just taking the psychological aspect into consideration. I mean, she is being attacked and harassed, and the police comes in among an extremely hostile and cheering crowd, basically violently arrests her.
Yeah. And I don't know what the laws in the UK, because guys, think about the situation here, right? Hatun, she goes from Turkey she's a Muslim. She goes from Turkey to the UK. She goes to the UK to learn English because she's going into science and as an academic field. And they tell her she has to learn English. So go learn English in the UK. She becomes a Christian. She eventually leaves Turkey permanently, goes to the UK, finds out there's this place called Speaker's Corner where you can go and speak your mind. Goes down there. They routinely attack her down there, steal her stuff. And when a mob forms around her, what do the police do? They go after her. In the U.S., I don't know what they have in the UK. In the U.S., that's called the heckler's veto. And there's a reason that you do not stop the mob by going after the speaker. If you said, hey, there's a mob forming around a speaker, therefore we're going to arrest the speaker, that actually encourages people to silence other people just by getting violent and harassing them. You form a mob, and that will silence the speaker. So it's understood. You cannot, if you're the police and you arrest the person that people are freaking out over, you are blocking that person's freedom of speech, and you just can't do that. So there's laws against. Matter of fact, when we were in Dearborn, because keep in mind, that's what they did to us is basically the heckler's veto. When we got arrested, Nabil is answering questions of a group of young Muslims who gathered around him, and they're asking questions. I'm standing there holding a camera. They arrested all the Christians. They arrested the Christians. They didn't arrest the Muslims. Right? We're causing a problem. How? Well, we're standing there Nabil's answering questions, and but this could lead to a riot or something like that. So we're going to arrest him. That's why they had to pay. It's illegal here. You can't actually do that. So yeah, and it was interesting. They had a guy who trains police departments on how to conduct their police duties while protecting people's rights. So this guy's being asked. So he's a security expert who trains law enforcement. And they're asked, they're like, okay, look, if you show up to an area and there's a big mob forming because the KKK has arrived, what's your main goal? He says, our main goal would be to protect the KKK. He said, because if there's a mob forming, the KKK are the ones who are most likely to be attacked, and our focus would be on protecting them and their right to speak. So he's pointing out how serious this is taken in the U.S. And even if someone is saying some horrible, messed up, evil stuff, you do not silence the speaker, or that encourages the mob that they can always silence the speaker. Here, just think about the message this sent. Why were the Muslims cheering? Hey, there's one Christian woman talking right there. We form a mob around her and police arrest her and rough her up. And the crowd is loving it. Why? It's the same thing. It would be worse in Pakistan. They would have surrounded her and killed her. But it's the same goal. There's always this obsession. We get to control other people's speech. You could do that directly through a mob. You could do it in a Sharia court where you can actually put people on trial for criticizing Muhammad or something like that. And if you are a Muslim group in a country like the UK, you get the police to do it for you. You condition them over time to carry out your agenda for you. That's why they cheered. You're doing what we want you to do right now. You're taking out the Christian. She criticizes Islam. Lock her up.
Yep.
Wow.
Tyranny, lynch mob, tyranny.
I am
That's what
so
it feels
glad
like.
right now we dumped your stupid tea into our stinking harbor.
Yeah, the tea solved everything.
I will
yes.
never drink tea again,
I do not either.
especially not British tea. No, that Earl Grey crap. English breakfast. I will never touch it, ever, because of this. You hear guys saying Allahu Akbar? Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. They're loving it. They're loving these cops right here.
The power of Islam.
They got her. They got Hatun. Public enemy number one. Public. Hear these guys laughing? Look at this.
Bunch of
Chaos.
animals.
Chaos over one woman. Look at this. There's like 20 Muslims running alongside her just to get footage of this. She's still talking trash. Get out of the way! We've got her! We've got public enemy number one! She's yelling, Jesus Christ is Lord.
What a disgrace, man. What a
Pretty
shame.
bad.
What a disgrace.
Pretty bad.
Just look at this.
They got her. They got Hatun. Locking her up. Anyway, this goes on, but you guys get the point.
Well, you know, the image that we just saw of them dragging Hatun and them saying get out of the way, get out of the way, and it's just the police officers dragging her in the middle. I don't know. British people, the people of the UK, people of London, Christians. How do people actually feel about this? Because it just looks so disgraceful. It looks disgusting. It looks so shameful. It looks terrible. Absolutely shameful. What is happening there is that there is a mob forming, and a mob is establishing a tyranny where the police is without questions helping the mob practice this tyranny, helping the mob exercise this tyranny upon a woman who's supposed to be welcomed, who's supposed to be treated in the best way because she is for the values that that the British people are for, that the United Kingdom was founded upon. I don't even know. I can't express this well enough. I can't even find the words to express this, but it's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting, dishonorable, disgraceful, distasteful, disgusting. Look at that as somebody who values the United Kingdom and who values whatever the United Kingdom stands for. Look at that and be embarrassed, be ashamed. I mean, the police should be ashamed of themselves. That's not a proper police force. That's not a proper police force that protects you, that defends you. I wouldn't trust that police force. I wouldn't trust the authorities if I was British. I wouldn't trust the police or the authorities, the government, if I lived in the United Kingdom. I wouldn't trust that they would actually defend me if it came down to a mob attacking and even trying to kill me. Because these authorities that are supposed to be protect British values and British people are no longer protecting British values and British people. They are being led by a mob of savages, a mob of people with significantly and severely inferior values and living standards, and a terrible animalistic mindset. And I would say, I don't know, if you believe in the values of the British people, be ashamed, be embarrassed by this, and maybe ask yourself how you can actively try and fix this. Because I mean, every single police officer there that we have seen, I would say, is a disgrace, is an embarrassment, and should go and quit their job and do something else. I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever they want to do.
Yeah, should all
Disgusting,
be, should
absolutely
all be fired.
sickening, absolutely sickening, absolutely disgusting. The UK makes me sick at this point. The UK
Disgusting
absolutely
place.
makes
Awful,
me
awful, evil
sick.
place.
I take the flag of the United Kingdom and just flush
Pee
it
on
down
it.
the toilet,
Pee
step
on
on it, rip it apart, because what value does it really have, right?
That's
You're
right.
supposed to be proud of it. And when I say these words, some people might be offended by it because they value the flag of the United Kingdom. They value the British flag, and they put it on their Twitter handles and this and that. But what does it really do when you put it on your Twitter handle, when you can't even protect what it stands for? Just wipe your butt with it after you go after you take a dump. I don't know. Flush it down the toilet, burn it, give it to the dogs or to the hogs, whatever you want to do with it, because it is apparently worthless.
We got AP here sounding like Patrick Henry.
Man.
Sounds like AP finally approves of the American Revolution. They saw it coming, ladies and gentlemen. They saw the way it was going. But I mean, seriously. I mean, think that these same British police, they didn't just wake up that day and become that way. They were trained and conditioned for decades to become that way. These are the same British police who looked the other way as young girls were taken in by grooming gangs and drugged and gang raped and all this stuff. And the police looked the other way because they didn't want to be called Islamophobes. People trained them for years to do anything other than being labeled an Islamophobe, because everything else is forgivable. Being an Islamophobe is not. And the result is that after years of conditioning police officers to be terrified above all else of being called a bigot or an Islamophobe, that's what you get right there. And you get the grooming gangs and everything else. And welcome to the UK. That's not all you get, ladies and gentlemen. That's not all you get, because guess what? Same thing is now the case with Jews. Now Jews are being treated the same way in the UK. If you have to decide between protecting the rights of a Jew or dealing with the Muslim mob, you toss the Jew under the bus. We're about to find out. Take a couple super chats here. The Quran was destroyed, true, and rewritten. Yep, Uthman. And there is only one true version of the Quran, and it's held by the Vatican and their treasury. Jesus loves you. This is absolutely true. The original one Quran, the original Christian Quran that promoted the doctrine of the Trinity and Jesus' death by crucifixion and his resurrection from the dead, that is currently in the Vatican. The Quran that Muslims have today is a corruption of the true Quran. Correct. Thoughts on Baby Gronk's Riz, a new drip king? I have no idea what you're talking about. I want to be Hatun Tash when I grow up. And so you shall, White Lily. Apostate Mommy. Therefore, brethren, make a poster of Slytherin with Sahih Muslim 146 anytime Muslims try to show them strong. Book of Nicaea 666. Oh, hi, AP and D Wood. Love you both. That is good. That's the one about Islam retreating like a snake, going back into its hole. That would be good with Slytherin. 210619. Cases seen on Wiki forced abortion page. So I guess that's where they were trying to force a woman to have an abortion. You see, Hatun got the wrath of Allah via the police. Cheese dulillah. Yeah. If you complain enough, the police will do your bidding. This is how Allah gets things done in the world. Right now, he's sort of limited to having people whine and complain on college campuses. That's about all he can do. I can't think of anything else Allah's good at right now. Gets lots of people whining. 5 silver pesos says, after watching the UK police in action, now I understand why Jack the Ripper was never caught. Oh, yeah. probably more worried about the people who are upset about him. She is so brave. They're just animals the way they cheer. Thugs. Why are they so attached to a printed book, hurting someone for paper? Mm-hmm. Hi, David Wood. Do Christians usually have some sort of greeting on Sundays, like Shabbat Shalom in Judaism? I sent a friend Merry Sunday, and he said, huh? Yeah, no. There'll be certain things that are common for Christians on Sundays, like sometimes you go into church and you say, he is risen, and some people go, he is risen indeed, something like that. But I can't think of one that's just like standard among all Christians. Dawa guys scream, you are finished already, at their popcorn. Yeah. Very well said, AP. Yeah, AP finally said something correct in his tirade against British tyranny. Isn't it funny? Like we saw it.
We just very angry and just letting out what I can't keep inside. That's all.
We saw it centuries ago. The founding fathers said these British jokers love tyranny. We gotta sever all ties right now. Yep. And then a couple dozen farmers with pitchforks beat the entire British army, sent them back across the ocean. True story.
Well, don't speak so much about the UK. I'm currently looking at a video recorded 2 hours ago at Columbia University, where
they suck
students have created
college campuses
have created a growing tent city and declared it. They said that they are taking over the university and declaring it the People's University.
Good.
Because the university won't allow them to hate Jews and cheer for Hamas.
Yep. So what we can say is Columbia University is the Great Britain of the United States. It's a little patch of Great Britain right here in New York.
Maybe you could say that New York City in general is kind of like
New York City is a little patch of Great Britain right now.
Yeah.
And that's what, I wanted to say give it back to them, but no, I can't give those British people anything.
People complain about California, but I don't know. I see much more ridiculous stuff from New York lately. I don't know.
Here's a contribution to get some nice Darjeeling tea. No tea. And I have to drive to work through some delightful area of northern England to get to work. Former mill towns that are now mosque-filled. Yep. Even Richard Dawkins is seeing a problem. People don't care if the police abuse them. You're expected to just comply. Again, guys, can you imagine you flee a Muslim country because you don't want to be under the control of those kinds of guys? You want to be able to say what you want. So you go to a Western country and then they start acting the same way.
Did you see footage from Columbia University where a video is going around where there are pro-Israel protesters, including Jews, shouting slogans like Am Yisrael Chai, people of Israel live, and so on. And then there is a pro-Palestine protester among those pro-Palestine protesters with a keffiyeh, a white person, I believe, standing there with a sign that says Al-Qassam's next target, pointing at those people. Al-Qassam is the military wing of Hamas. So a person standing there with a sign pointing at those pro-Israel people, the peaceful ones, and saying Al-Qassam's next target, basically thereby implying or just calling for violence, calling for the killing of these people, as if it was just a little joke. This is how sick
we might have to roll up on Columbia, though.
Yeah,
might have to roll up in there. I think I could take those guys if they tried to form a mob. People don't care if the police abuse them. You're expected to just comply. Yep. GM, what's the alpha? What NFT you into? The heck is this about? I don't even know what that is. Oh, game? What? I don't know what that's about. You know nerd language. Is it? What is this?
What NFT is a thing?
Isn't that the like where you sell pictures or something?
Yeah. not just pictures, but yeah, it's a token that you can sell and buy online.
Oh, hey, here's a good one. Pat's leather strap says, "AP, I'm British. You think you're angry?" And that's what sucks. See, there's a part of me that looks at what goes on in Great Britain and says, "You deserve what you get. You deserve what you get over there. This is how you're acting.
You do.
These are the people you put in power. I mean, you put these elected officials into power. You deserve what you get. You deserve to be taken up." But at the same time, there are all these people who have nothing to do with it, who don't vote for this stuff, who would get silenced if they tried to say anything, and who do try to say something, and who do get in trouble over it, and so on. There are people who don't deserve it. That's the sucky part. There are people there you can look at and say, "You guys deserve what you get." Everyone who, for the past couple decades, when we've been telling you exactly what's going to happen, I mean exactly down to the letter, we've been telling you exactly what's going to happen, and now it's happening, and every step of the way you said, "Oh, shut up, you racist. Shut up, you bigot. Shut up, you Islamophobe. No, these people are Islamophobes. Won't listen to them." If that's what you did for decades, okay, you get what you deserve. What sucks, and this is what always the case, you have stupid people doing stupid things, taking the stupid ideas in their heads and forcing them onto the rest of society because they get the political power. And then people who didn't have those stupid ideas and who didn't want anything to do with this, they have to spend they and their families and their children have to spend the rest of their lives suffering because your stupid ideas that should have never gone beyond your stupid heads.
Yes. British people are also very polite compared to American people. When American people are angry, they actually voice it in a serious way. In the UK, apparently, when you're angry, it's like, "Oh, well, I don't like what's happening here, innit?" And then the police arrests you, and you're like, "What are you doing, mate? Why are you arresting me?" And they just let it happen, apparently. And then you're like, "Oh, I'm pretty angry about this. We've got to change things, innit?" And then you go to the polls and you vote for one of the 5 divided right-wing parties that are fighting with each other over trivial nonsense. And what you have again is, for years, this stupidity that is ongoing. And I mean, I don't want to talk about society as if it is a jungle, but it's the reality. It's like it comes down to the laws of the jungle, of the weak and the strong. And Western civilization has become so weak and so gullible and so naive, possibly because of the lack of real problems in their lives, that they have become unable to see threats, and that they have become unable to solve actual problems because you're dealing with trivial problems, with first world problems all the time. And I don't know. This is just. I don't think that there is much hope. To be honest, I think Western people deserve what's coming to them.
Yep. Fortunately, ladies and gentlemen, you've got D Wood and the Apostate Prophet here, standing between you and the armies of jihadis. British police lack the testicular fortitude. That's true. Can you imagine that? That's what's messed up. When people like these police officers that we're looking at, they're given the authority to just snatch someone up. Saying, we're choosing that this person is wrong, and they can snatch people up. And they're cowards who are terrified above all else of being called Islamophobes, and they'll behave in that way. Meaning, if they see a mob of jihadis about to attack a woman, they'll go after the woman because you don't want to go after the jihadis because you're freaking cowards.
Yeah.
Cowards. UK needs the British equivalent of Germany's AFD. What's that? You're German and American and Turkish. Can't even make up your mind.
The AFD, I talked about it recently on certain live streams, but the AFD is it's called the Alternative für Deutschland, the Alternative for Germany, which is a rising right-wing populist party that was only created in 2013 and is now sharply rising to become the most popular party in Germany, which concerns many people. But other people say, well, this is what happens when you don't listen to people's concerns. This is what happens.
That's exactly right. You get the backlash.
Turn. Yeah, it's going to be bad backlash.
You have a bunch of people who are sane and getting along, and then you have part of this goes too far in one direction. Instead of just coming back to, to normalcy, you get a group going in the opposite direction. And then you pull, everything becomes polarized, and bring it on yourselves.
Yeah.
You bring it on yourselves.
What they did all the time is like whenever German people voiced a certain concerns, they're like, oh, no, shh, we can't talk about that. We can't talk about that. Well, think about our historical responsibility before the world, and we still have to fix what we did wrong in the Second World War. Okay, you know what? We got it. We got it. But how about this problem? No. We can't talk about that problem. And just like that, they caused the sharp and severe and loud rise of the right-wing AfD, which is currently set to go and possibly even become the leading party. And the people were laughing about them just 5 to 10 years ago, and now they're going to depend on this party to form a government, and things are going to get ugly.
Yeah, guys, it is hard work. It is hard work.
Yeah.
Getting to have a nation where people generally get along and don't kill each other over a bunch of stuff. And as soon as you have it, you figure out, how can we divide this thing up, polarize and radicalize everyone, and burn it all to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen over and over again in Western nations.
Reggie said, don't get us all hyped up. Get hyped up.
I smacked my head at the last. That's what SMH, right? I still try to learn all these abbreviations. Smack my head, right?
No, it's shake my head. Shook my head.
Dang it. That was so close. I shake my head at the last 7 to 8 months in the UK and the pandering that goes on. Local council elections soon. Live in a mostly white area. Local candidate for the Labour Party is the religion of peace. Yeah, not surprising. All your politicians are going to be devout Muslims. Did you see Ilhan Omar's daughter being suspended? Yeah, she's suspended, and I think she got arrested too.
Yeah, arrested and suspended.
Yeah, with that said, I mean, I support her right to speak. So I don't know what she did, but if she was just talking or something like that, and just then I wouldn't want her to get arrested here in the U.S. even. But I don't know.
Well, Columbia University was answering in front of Congress, and they said due to the rising concerns and the protests and in which direction the protests are going, lots of actually anti-Semitic stuff that are being said during the protests, and it's not stopping. By the way, just from today, we have a video where the crowds are screaming, Al-Qassam, take another soldier out, or something. They're literally cheering in America for Hamas to kill Israeli soldiers. So the Columbia University made some pledges to take measures, to take actions against students who are organizing these protests and who are participating in them, which is why they started making involving the police and suspending people, but it's not working.
Yeah. Allah is so strong, though. Allah is so strong. It's crazy how we are living in a time where people can openly be pro-terrorism with zero repercussions. I'm tired of Islam and its useful idiots. Mm-hmm. That is true. Showed my dad the debate, stomped his worldview, but what really got him rethinking was Muslim septic apostasy penalty because my mother is an ex-Muslim. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean Nice. Thank you. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I'm glad it helped.
This June 6th, we will celebrate 80 years since the start of Crusade in Europe. That's what's going to be celebrated. A Filmmaker's Apocalypse, the documentary on the making of Apocalypse Now. We were in the jungle. There were too many of us. Filmmaker's Apocalypse. I've never actually watched Apocalypse Now. I've seen some clips, though.
You haven't? It's
No.
pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen some clips. Our police are not heroes. They're people. Good when helpful, pathetic when not. We are not deluded. AP is just catching up. Get used to it.
You are deluded.
You are deluded. Yeah. Yeah. Police are people. You need to be very careful about the people you protect when they have that kind of power over other people. And the people you're picking are garbage, as far as I can tell. Yeah. All right, guys. And now let's go ahead and see. So we saw one one Christian who was concerned. If you're tuning in late, we watched a clip of one Christian who simply said to his priest that he's concerned about what's happening. So this is in the UK, but he said he's concerned about what's happening in Australia and why a Muslim was able to go stab Bishop Marmari, and police showed up at his door with counselor and so on to talk him out of his being concerned. He's not allowed to be concerned. We saw a clip of a woman praying silently inside her own head, wasn't saying a word, but she was near an abortion clinic, so they arrested her. We saw Hatun. Her property was stolen, and then a mob started forming around her. Police came, snatched her up, roughed her up, and arrested her. But don't think that this is just the way things are going for Christians in the UK. It's not a great place to be a Jew anymore. Not a great place to be a Jew anymore.
You are quite openly Jewish. This is a pro-Palestinian.
What? We got the words on the screen here. You are quite openly Jewish. Now, this one's mixed up because the guy posted it with him talking, so he's got the video footage, and he intersperses it with him talking. Not sure how much of this we'll watch, because I have not watched this clip. I have not watched it. I just got it ready. So we'll see how this goes. So this will depend on how much we're going to watch. So this police officer says, they're pretty nice too, blurring out his face. You don't have to do that. We don't want this guy to get in trouble for having a problem with Jews. They're nicer than I would be.
You are quite openly Jewish. This is a pro-Palestinian march. I'm not accusing you of anything, but I'm worried about the reaction to your presence.
For months,
That's called, I'm worried about hecklers heckling you or attacking you, and therefore I'm going after you.
Wow, man, what a wording. You are quite openly Jewish.
Yeah. I can tell that you are quite openly Jewish. You're not hiding it. How dare you not hide the fact that you are Jewish? Again, no, I'm just saying, can you imagine them talking to a Muslim like this? Oh, yeah, look at what you're wearing. You're quite openly Muslim. You can't be around here, mate. You can't be around here when you're openly Muslim. I can't even imagine them talking like that, but they're talking like that to a Jewish guy.
Look, there is an aspect which is the police officer here is not being hostile, and he's not saying you can't be Jewish, you can't be openly Jewish. He is saying to be very fair here. This is a dangerous situation. It's a dangerous environment for you as a very visible Jewish person to be in. You could get attacked, So please get out of here. But now imagine for a second.
No, he doesn't stop there. Just so you know, he tells him he'll arrest him. So
yeah,
so
okay.
It gets worse.
And it goes there. Now imagine for a second that that there is a rally by nationalists or by others, or let's say. It wouldn't happen if there was a rally with Jewish people, and this is just story, but that's just the difference between Jews and Muslims. But imagine that there was a nationalist rally going on, and it was like openly anti-Islam and anti-immigration and so on, and a Muslim family was walking by and approaching the rally, and the police came and said, "Oh, it looks like you're obviously Muslims. It's very clear. It's very, very, very obvious. So, I would advise you to go away from here because it could be very dangerous for you to be here. And if you refuse to go away, then I will have to arrest you before your own security. But as Muslims, you can't be here because this is dangerous for Muslims." Mm-hmm. Wouldn't people think, wait a minute, what? How can this be normal?
Yeah. And again, I to make that apply even more, imagine they said, since you're obviously a Muslim, there could be problems here, we'll arrest you. I'm assuming that that's what the guy's going to say, because that's what I saw on Twitter. The guy is threatened with arrest for being there. So the guy's threatened with arrest for being here. So that didn't happen right there. They said, you're quite openly Jewish. And so this is not, I'm concerned about the reaction to you. I'm assuming he's going to say that he will arrest him here. So I think this is the same guy. Is that the same guy? Did we see video of the guy? Is that the same guy? Looks like same guy. Okay.
to your presence?
For months, we've been told that when anti-Israel protests course through London, it's perfectly safe for Jews. Notwithstanding the anti-Semitic placards, the genocidal slogans, the glorification of Hamas, the Islamist flags, the swastikas, notwithstanding all of that, it's still safe to be openly Jewish on the streets of London during these anti-Israel protests.
Not anymore.
That's what we're told.
Not true.
And yet, that's not true in practice. I know because on Saturday, I did what I normally do.
Okay, so this is the same dude, looks like, because he's saying that this was him.
I went to synagogue, and then afterwards, I met up with some people to just go on a walkabout around London.
Hey, British people call it walkabout too? I thought that was an Australian thing. I saw it in Crocodile Dundee. So he's going walkabout. That's interesting if British people say the same thing. Then the question is who stole it from who? I'd have to say I would expect the Australians to steal it, since they're all criminals.
Just over 6 months ago, there would have been nothing controversial about Jews walking around London on a Saturday. And the only thing that even marked us out as being Jewish was that I was wearing a kippah on my head, and I was carrying a small burgundy bag with Stars of David on, which I put my prayer shawl into after synagogue.
Wait, is it a kippah or a yarmulke? Or is that the same thing?
Same thing.
Do you know? Same thing?
Pretty sure it's the same thing.
Wait, I
The
got mine
change-
around here somewhere. Darn it. Oh, here we go. What? See? Just, man, these guys got me. This cop got me wanting to put this thing on and head out to the UK, man. Hey, we should roll up, and we're not even, it'd be funny, we roll up and we're not even Jewish, and they tell us we can't be around there because we're in yarmulke. That'd be funny.
I think kippah is the Hebrew word, and yarmulke is the. I'm not sure if that's true. I think yarmulke is the Yiddish word, and kippah is the Hebrew word.
I'm sure we'll get some. I'm sure someone will inform us in the chat. So he's saying all I was doing was wearing a yarmulke, and then he says or kippah, and he says he had a bag with a Star of David on it. So those were the only identities. In other words, he's not showing up waving an Israeli flag or anything. He's wearing a yarmulke and he's got a Star of David on his bag. That's it. That's him being openly Jewish. He should have apparently, according to the cops, taken this off if he wanted to be there in London.
And I was carrying a small burgundy bag with Stars of David on, which I put my prayer shawl into after synagogue. Okay. And we were not wearing anything like stickers or badges. We didn't have placards or signs. We weren't chanting slogans or engaging with protesters. We weren't part of any kind of protest or counter-protest. We were just walking wherever we wanted to as Jews, as free Londoners, supposedly able to go wherever we wanted to.
So went to synagogue, walking back, gets snatched up by police. And they're concerned about the reaction. Guys, think about this. They arrested Hatun because if they had to defend it, you're causing all these people to become enraged. They're worried about this guy because you might cause everyone else to be enraged. Guys, as the number of Muslims increases, doubles, let's say it doubles from what it is right now. How do you think things are going to change? That's twice as many people that you're worried about becoming enraged, and you have to punish everyone else because they might be enraged. You have to punish everyone else because these guys might become enraged. That's how things are going. And keep in mind how insane this is. This is a Jewish guy who's told you can't walk through this area of London because you're openly Jewish. You've got a Christian. If you're even concerned about something that happens in Australia, police show up at your door. That's how they're acting out. And yet, if you say, I do not like the way this is going, I do not like it when you're changing society so that I cannot even be openly whatever religion I am. I can't do it because that might upset other people. I do not like the way this is going. You're the enemy. You're the enemy for not liking this. You have to love it. You have to love it. You have to love being subjugated. If you either love being subjugated or you're evil, you're the problem. That's how things work.
Except we weren't able to go wherever we wanted to. On Aldwych, we were suddenly pulled aside by a police officer who said that our very presence could antagonize crowds and even lead to us being attacked.
If I could ask you to...
Yeah, guys, again, so he's not there. He's not protesting anything else like that. He's just saying his presence as a Jew who is openly Jewish, he's not concealing it, that's too much. So he's not saying, hey, I'm going to go there and start yelling at people, I'm going to start protests, I'm going to start an argument, I'm going to start waving an Israeli flag or something like that. By the way, I don't have a problem with any of that stuff. But just saying, he's not doing any of that. He's not, I think all that stuff would be okay. He's not even doing any of that. He's just being Jewish in an area with a lot of pro-Palestinian protesters and police saying you can't be around here.
Oh, there, please. Thank you very much. I know I have heard you. I don't want to stay here.
So he's saying, I want to leave and I want to go that way. And the police officer saying you can't go that way. In other words, I'm trying to get across to that street. That's how I get home. Whatever he's trying to do, I want to go over there. And he's being told, no, you can't go because there are protesters over there, and they see that you're committing the vague crime of being openly Jewish.
Okay, sir. I'm going that way. When the crowd is gone, I will happily escort you out. I'm going to walk. No, sir.
Did you see it? You see, he's trying to walk around him, and he's blocking. I mean, look at this. Look at all these cops. Look, they're like what, 5 or 6 deep on this guy, this Jewish guy. Can you imagine? You went to the synagogue. I want to walk home. I'm over there. This is London. I can walk where I want. I'm going that way. And the cops come after you. Meanwhile, they're saying there's no problems here. No, we protect everybody. And they come after you because you're the one with the yarmulke on.
Ridiculous.
And the guy blocks him. He tries to walk around him and the guy blocks him.
Anybody antagonizing anything?
Look at him. You see him? Blocking him.
Yeah, and at the moment...
Look at this. They're like 5 or 6 deep on this guy.
Let's go.
You are quite openly Jewish. This is a pro-Palestinian march. I'm not accusing you of anything, but I'm worried about the reaction to your presence.
I spoke to, or was spoken to, by various different police officers, but I want to be very, very clear. This is not about the individual frontline officers that I spoke to on Saturday. I might disagree with some of their decisions, but these people, these officers, are being put in impossible positions week in.
Dude, haven't we talked about that before? That's what Islam does. It puts you into a position where no matter what any decision you have to make is going to have bad consequences.
Yeah.
Like if you let this guy walk through and it starts a big, okay, that's bad. Or if the police, no, we can't let you go over there, so we'll arrest you if we have. It's like no matter what you do, there are problems associated with it.
Hey, I have an idea. Why don't the police just make it simple and so they don't have to warn people? Why don't they put up signs with a Star of David crossed out to indicate?
Yeah,
hey,
no Jew zones.
Jews cannot come here. How about that?
Can you imagine? This is 21st century Great Britain. Hey, Jew, you can't walk over here. Can't walk here. Can't walk over here, Jew.
Jews not allowed. How about that? Just put a sign up there for those who can't tell. The Jews not allowed. How about that?
Yeah. Anyway, I haven't seen. I saw on Twitter that they were threatening to arrest this guy. I haven't seen that yet, but maybe there's more. Well, there must be more because there's a couple more minutes of the clip. Let's see.
Week out, they're being asked to police huge protests with very few officers, where there's all sorts of criminality on display, from racism to glorification of terrorism and even violence. Some of that violence directed against the officers themselves. And so this is a very difficult situation for them.
What's crazy is this happens because you don't just crack down, right? You could very easily send in officers around a protest with orders. Hey guys, you're going to crack down. Anyone who is threatening actual violence or supporting a terrorist organization or anything like that, grab them. We will send as many people in to arrest the person who's doing this as possible. Yes, it's going to suck. Yes, people are going to be throwing things. But once we have made it clear that we're not going to tolerate any of this stuff, guess what? It would be a different situation, but you don't. You let them get away with it, which encourages them, and then you go after Jews and Christians to appease the mob, which only encourages the mob to get worse. So you're caught in a spiral now. They're getting more confident that they can do whatever they want and get away with it, and you do more to appease them, which gives them more confidence that they can do what they want and get away with it, and so you appease them even more. And guess what? This is not going to end well for you. Sorry, Great Britain, but I'm not sorry.
As well. Some of the police officers that I spoke to were very sympathetic towards the situation of Jews in
Shame
London
on
and
them.
Britain
Shame
right
on
now.
them for being sympathetic.
And to be honest, I feel very
Can you
sympathetic
imagine?
towards frontline police.
Can you imagine if you could bring back Winston Churchill here
Showing
and,
this.
and show and say, hey, come here, Mr. Churchill. Look what's happening here in the UK nowadays. And then you have zones where Jews shan't go anymore because the police comes and says, "Oh, it looks like you're Jewish, innit? It looks like you're Jewish. It's quite obvious. And as a Jew, you won't be safe here. So, how about you go away, or otherwise I might have to arrest you." I really wonder what Winston Churchill would think seeing the situation right now after World War II.
Probably the same thing the founding fathers of the U.S. would say if they looked around at what's going on in the world right now. This is what we all fought for. We all fought for this.
Yeah.
Officers and the situation that they are facing.
But look at how nice this guy is. He's just talking about how sympathetic he is. Like, hey, I understand these guys. And he blurs out the guy's face so this guy doesn't get confronted on the street. Hey, why are you going after the Jews, buddy? Super nice. Anyway.
When they're told to police these marches.
Why is there no crowd of police around here?
No one attacks you or anyone else.
I know that too, but your other side here has told me that because I'm Jewish, it's antagonistic to the crowd, it's dangerous.
I'm not saying that.
But he's just said that. I mean, do you have any idea what it's like being a Jew in London at the moment? Let me tell you, this goes on every Saturday. You probably know it, your colleagues know it. You guys are on the front line.
Look, the guy's sitting there nodding. Yeah, this happens every Saturday.
And the route changes every single week. You never have any idea where
He's saying the route changes every week, meaning I have to go a different route home from synagogue every week because I'm not allowed to walk in certain places.
Just think about that, man.
This is London.
Think about that. Think about being Jewish, living in London, going to work and going to synagogue every weekend, and then having to take into consideration, right now there are protests going on in London. As a Jew, as somebody who observes the Jewish commandments, as somebody who seems Jewish, I have to be careful where I go. Yeah, this is London where I have lived all my life. This is London where generations of my family, my ancestors lived. But yeah, because of those protests right now, as a Jew, it's not very safe for me to walk this direction. Or actually, this weekend is that direction. I'm not supposed to walk that direction. I should rather, take a different path. I should go this way. It will
police
take
have to
longer for me
police
to get
have
home.
to tell you, hey, Jew, you can't walk that way. You can walk on that street. Or you could go hide over in this alley for a while.
It will take
and then,
longer
and
for
then
me to
sneak
get
out.
home, but since I'm a Jew and since it's dangerous for Jews right now, I should probably go this way.
Yeah,
And
see,
this is
see if you're a
this is
Muslim,
apparently
if you're a Muslim, you can
considered
walk
normal.
right over. If you're a Muslim, you can walk right over there. If you're a Jew, you got to walk around the entire city to get over there because you're a Jew.
I'm sorry to say this again, but and I know that certain British people who are very patriotic and all that might take offense. But what value does your flag have at this point? What value does your kingdom have at this point? What value does your country and your nation have at this point when you have given up your values that you're so proud of, and you have let other people who are pretty much like those you fought in World War II, when you have allowed them to take charge, when you have allowed them to dictate what you can and cannot do in the UK, what values even matter at the moment? What value does your flag have when you just give it up and let these savages police your police around? Just flush it down the toilet. Flush your flag down the toilet. It has no value at this moment, unless you decide to at some point be proper British people again and stand up. If you are angered by an offense against your flag, how about you use that anger to restore your values instead of watching this stupidity and watching this imbecility and this weakness?
In the meantime, I dare one of y'all to show up around me with a cup of tea. It's going straight in the harbor. Straight in the harbor. And I'll have a big old party, dumping your tea into my harbor.
Because you're Jewish in London, you now have to cross these huge groups of people. It's intimidating enough, and now look at the number of police that are around here. Just look around. I'm just a Jew in London trying to cross the road. I've been told by the Met.
How did the Jew cross the road? And walk around the entire city. Because that's London.
That these are completely safe for Jews, so I should have nothing to worry about. And yet here I find myself in this bubble. This guy has just been shouting at me and shoving me because I want to cross the road.
Because these frontline police officers are being put in impossible situations, they're having to make up the Met's policy on the hoof. Whereas Sir Mark Rowley, the commissioner of the Met...
Do people say on the hoof?
I don't know.
I've never heard that. I was just saying, I've watched a bunch of movies with British people and stuff, and then when I hear something that's completely different from everything I wonder, is that a Jewish thing or a British thing? I don't know, because I've never heard it.
Was news studios and tells us that he is going to, quote, ruthlessly enforce to the letter of the law.
Liar.
The reality is that the Met's real policy is quite different, as I found out on Saturday. What really happens is that if you are Jewish and in the vicinity of a march which you're not part of, then the Met's officers will enact a different policy.
There's a unit of people here now. You'll be escorted out of this area so you can go about your business, go where you like free.
Did you hear that? We're going to escort you. Gosh, we're going to escort you out of this area so you can go about your business. Hang on.
Different policy.
There's a unit of people here now. You'll be escorted out of this area so you can go about your business, go where you like freely, or if you choose to remain here because you are causing a breach of peace with all these other people, you will be arrested.
Oh, they did do it. It's true. Did you catch that?
What?
He just said, hey, we can escort you out of here, or if you choose to remain here, meaning he's just standing there, you will be arrested for breach of peace. They're saying, I just said what a problem the breach of peace laws are. Because you even have those in the U.S., but you need to define those very, very clearly. Otherwise, you can always say, hey, this guy's annoying someone. That's breach of peace. He's messing up my peace in my head or something like that. You have to define exactly what you mean. Otherwise, it just becomes a catch-all. You just lock someone up for anything. Okay, so right here, he threatens to arrest him if he doesn't agree to be escorted out of the area right then.
March, which you're not part of, then the Met's officers will enact a different policy.
There's a unit of people here now. You'll be escorted out of this area so you can go about your business, go where you like freely, or if you choose to remain here because you are causing a breach of peace with all these other people, you will be arrested.
If I remain here, you will arrest me.
Because your presence here is antagonising a large group.
Did you see that? Because your presence here is antagonizing a large group of people. Your presence, Jew, your presence with your yarmulke on is antagonizing all these people who are calling for the death of your country and so on. Isn't this nuts? This is like insane. But earlier when the guy's like, I can't let you walk that way, I can't let you walk that guy, it was ticking me off. But get out of here. Go get out of here. We're going to escort you out of this area, and then you could go about your business freely, as long as you don't try and walk in an area where you're not allowed to go. Yeah. But if you do not agree to get out of here, if you think you can stand right here on this public sidewalk with a bunch of police officers all over the place, we're going to arrest you. Why? Because your presence, your mere presence as a Jew is upsetting to them. So we decide whether to arrest you based on how they react to you. If that group over there is upset about your presence, we'll lock you up for upsetting them. This is disgusting, man.
This is why I found immense new respect for Tommy Robinson, who, in the face of everything that is happening, has repeatedly voiced his support for Jewish people and for Israel and against this mistreatment, and is now, as we speak, actively tweeting about and posting and talking about the double standards and the insanity of how Jewish people are being treated in the middle of Europe. Because these other folks here want it that way. And Tommy Robinson is getting backlash from non-British other people who supported him in the past were like, "Oh no, you're selling out to the Jews," and he just doubles down and says, "Piss off, mate. I'm defending the Jewish people here, innit?" And I have a lot of respect for him right now because of what he is doing.
That's another guy who spent a long time warning people, and he was called a racist bigot the entire time for telling people exactly what was happening. In fact, I mean, he's the one who exposed the grooming the covering up the grooming gangs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The police wouldn't do anything about it. Social workers wouldn't do anything about it. Judges wouldn't do anything about it. Journalists wouldn't go near it until Tommy Robinson made an uproar over it. He just went around, kept talking about it until people caught on. They're like, wait, this is going on? And it forced some journalists and some police to actually deal with the problem. And then they started locking some people up. But yeah, I mean, this is I don't know, this is insane. Let's see. It's a shame the ADL and SP, Southern Poverty Law Center, have been attacking white Christians for decades. Who on earth has been funding those organizations? Yeah, these are all organizations that started off with good intentions. We're doing the Southern Poverty Law Center. They crushed the KKK. They just kept suing them over everything they could sue them over until no one paid attention to it anymore. But for some reason, you get all these over time. So you get people and you get groups that are calling out other people for actual really, really bad behavior and so on. But these groups get taken over by people who just, use it to target anyone they disagree with over anything and label them hate groups and so on. So,
yeah, the SPLC at its core is not a bad organization, but it has just steered into completely stupid, corrupt stuff. The ADL, oh boy. The ADL still does some really good work in some very, very few ways. It still does some really good work, right? And I'm aware of it. I actually participated in some work when I totally randomly worked for a research company when I was in Turkey, and happened to somehow collaborate in research for the ADL when they were researching how people in different countries feel about Jews and all that. And they actually did some genuinely good research in those fields. But the ADL got so off track and so corrupted with idiotic concerns, such as even working with Facebook to combat hate speech, including Islamophobia and things like that. I mean, seriously, how stupid, how naive can you be that you, as an organization that is supposed to represent and is supposed to defend Jewish people, actively help in suppressing supposed hate speech against those very people who want you killed? This is just such a stupid, corrupt, idiotic, nonsensical, dumb organization that is being led by absolute imbeciles. And
this keeps happening over and over again. So, like the Southern Poverty Law Center, they label Robert Spencer as a like Jihad Watch as a hate organization. Why? For criticizing jihad, right? And they'll put them in the same category with like neo-Nazi groups and stuff like that. So that anytime he's speaking somewhere, then but he's on this group's list. It's just amazing. I mean, guys, there's this problem called jihad, and it's targeting you, and we need to be aware of it. Oh, shame, you hate group. And yeah, I don't know. It's insane. And now you're stuck in the situation of there are people who are going to suffer from silencing the critics. There are lots of people. When you silence the critics who are warning you about something really, really bad, I don't know, kind of on you.
It's funny. Some people are pointing out that what I just said sounds like I worked for the ADL. It's like, you cover balloon.
Yes. No, see, you got it. We found out. Now you know it. Now you know, everyone. He's got those. Now you know where all the shekels came from.
But seriously, I had no connection to them at all. I worked for a research company that was.
You already said it. You already said it. You were working for them for years.
And one of the researchers suddenly happens to be where the ADL hires that company to conduct research for them by making surveys, and I happen to be part of that. which was very interesting.
Whatever you say, AP. Whatever you say, we'll trust you. Sure hope everyone here is squatting to pee so they don't miss out on a 50% discount from Allah. That is absolutely serious. Muhammad says that over half of the punishment of the grave is because of urinating improperly. You're not squatting to pee, so it's totally serious. 50% off. Apocalypse Now is a retelling of Joseph Conrad's short story, Heart of Darkness. The main villain, Kurtz, short in German, is short on morals. No, I remember Heart of Darkness. I don't think I finished it. I just remember this long boat ride, page after page after page is a sucky boat ride through Africa. They're doing the, I think it's the ivory trade, and they're trying to get to where this, trying to get up the river. And I was just like, gosh, this is destroying me. And I remember this was my 11th or 12th grade English teacher. And I'm like, this is really, really boring, and I can't even figure out what's going on. And she said, but think about this. He's cutting, they're going through the jungle. And it's like you trying to go through this jungle of words. I'm like, oh, come on. Going through a jungle of fighting. I have to fight my way through a jungle of words to try and figure out what anyone's saying. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm assuming it'd be easier for me to read now than it was in high school. But AP is safe from arrest as whoever prays and put handcuffs just say, I'm a Buddhist and am silent in deep meditation, and they will leave you alone.
Nice.
The peaceful protest is dangerous for Jews to be around. What an odd thing to say. That is, isn't it? No, it's a peaceful protest. If you actually think this is a dangerous protest of killers who will kill a Jew, how are they not the ones breaching the peace? Tarun says, say that you see it is the truth in a Persian accent, French accent, British accent, and South Indian accent. All three. Free Iran, free Israel. I don't even know what a Persian accent. A British accent's easy. French accent's easy.
We have to get Armin Navabi in here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's got a cool accent.
But I can do. You see, it is the truth. You see, it is the truth. I don't know, something
Armin.
like that.
You see, I can't even do it. You see,
that's Jordan Peterson, man. You say he's the truth, mate.
British Shahada. I am a law-abiding citizen. I'm a law-abiding citizen. How has Islam historically viewed divine simplicity?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, that's going to have to, you've got a bunch of different groups there to talk about.
Yes.
That would be a question for a different thing on a different live stream on theology here. Plenty of evidence Nabil was Muslim and they reject him. Zero evidence Jesus was a Muslim and yet they claim him. God bless the boy with the cricket. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
That is a rough situation. Sorry, Christians. Psalm 14 was not about ancient atheists. It's about people who thought they could avoid God's justice, modern donkey Dawkins brains. Yes, that is true.
Alhamdulillah.
There weren't atheists back then. And I made a video about that, about those passages. And I show there's another passage in the Psalm, I think it's Psalm 10, where it says it's the same thing. It's accusing people of saying there is no God, but it's someone who clearly believes in God. So the actual takeaway, these passages aren't talking about atheists. Atheism was not a thing back then. It's saying that when you sin, it's because you're thinking you could get away with it. But wait a minute, if you actually believe that there's this, this all-powerful, all-knowing being, you would not think that you could get away with it. So when you act like you could get away with something, you're saying in your heart, I could get away with this, and therefore you're saying that God doesn't exist. They're saying that there is no God. Although, that doesn't change the fact that atheists have donkey brains.
Yeah. That is not about atheists. It's not about atheists in it.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, this guy right here, my goodness, rewind this a little bit. This is like, again, it was one thing when the guy's just, hey, it's not safe to go over here, saying I'm going to arrest you if you don't get out of here.
Of March, which you're not part of, then the Met's officers will enact a different policy.
And again, it's crazy because this guy's like defending him, and I really sympathize with him. And I don't know, this guy's way nicer than I be.
There's a unit of people here now. you've been escorted out of this area so you can go about your business, go where you like freely, or if you choose to remain here because you are causing a breach of peace with all these other people, you will be arrested.
If I remain here, you will arrest me.
Because your presence here is antagonising a large group of people.
Your presence, Jew, is antagonizing a large group of people who hate Jews. So obviously we have to protect them from being antagonized by you. This is, my goodness, this is not the right response. You come in there 1,000 officers deep with a whole group of Jews and say, don't put your hands on them. And just have Jews walking all over the place, waving Israeli flags, and do that every time until they get the point that that people have rights in the UK.
Deal with all of them if they attack you or because your presence is antagonising them.
Not everybody on the march had a problem with us, but apparently there were lots of people who clearly did.
He's calling Jews Nazis.
Before you get arrested.
Watching your movement. That's right.
This man's saying that he's going to start following me around watching my...
Did you hear that? This guy's saying, I'm going to follow you around. I'm going to watch his movements. Meaning I'm going to follow you around and get you later when there's not these cops around.
That's right. We're all going to watch your movements and record you.
We're here.
No, the police ain't going to help you in this scenario. They ain't got no law.
The result is that after months of being gaslit by the Met, it's not safe for Jews to be walking in the presence of these protests. And was there anything so crazy about what we were trying to do? Just walking around our home city on a Saturday?
Well, mate,
is this something that we're willing?
Obviously, he's not aware, but you can't be openly Jewish, innit? You can't be visibly Jewish and walking around there because there's a pro-Palestine protest going on. And it's London, mate. It's not Tel Aviv, mate. It's London. London is a Muslim territory, right? Innit? And
no,
you can't be a Jew there. It's pro-Palestine, mate.
Yeah, seriously, it's we're told, hey, you shouldn't be at all concerned about the spread of Islam in your country, but look at the way things are going. Your mere presence as a Jew is enough to say you have to get out of there because your presence is antagonizing these people. Where you draw the line? So once you say, okay, Jews are not allowed around Muslims because the presence of a Jew will be antagonizing the Muslims, so you can't be openly Jewish. Maybe you can keep your Jewishness a secret. Take off your yarmulke, cover it up. But I mean, then you'd have to say the same thing about Christians, about Hindus. You can't wear that cross. Can't wear that cross. It's going to upset these guys. And your presence as a Christian with wearing a cross would be antagonizing to these people. Therefore, we will arrest you if you try to walk down the street in London because your presence is going to be antagonizing to these people.
It looks like you Jews, you're celebrating Passover, innit? How about you bugger off and go back to Israel and celebrate it there? Because obviously, if you're going to be Jewish here in London, it's going to be dangerous for you, innit? How about you go away and do all that Jew stuff over there in Israel?
Yeah, I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. These guys, everyone, the governments, the journalists, the politicians, the Dawa guys, all the neo-Nazis, all these guys, they're making an airtight, 100% indisputable case for why Jews need their own country that they actually control and are not under the control of other people, because the rest of the world can apparently flip on the drop of a dime and say, let's get rid of these guys. And, oh, you can't even walk down the street anymore. It can happen instantly.
Yes.
Wow.
To accept that now the police have to keep Jews away. We mustn't accept it. Britain is rightly proud of its values of tolerance and decency.
Yeah, it's doing a bang-up job.
And we cannot, as a society, accept that this is now going to be the norm. The obvious answer would be for the Metropolitan Police Service to use its existing powers under the Public Order Act, either to curtail these marches or to ban them altogether. But that's not...
That's what I said. If it's to the point where a Jew cannot be safe near one of these things, then you're saying they've got the problem. That the group has the problem. If a Jew is not safe in the area of one of these groups or these protests, then that's the problem, not the Jew. Right? Anyway, Man, this is wild stuff, and he's being super nice here. But when he just talked about, is this going to become the new normal? Think about this. So, I think it won't be too much longer till Israel has completely wiped out Hamas. What happens then? If the trajectory continues as it is, I mean, are these people just going to keep protesting indefinitely? Because, I mean, what are they demanding? From the river to the sea. They're still demanding from the river to the sea. You've got a ton of people who still want Israel completely wiped off the map. So are they going to keep going hard like this and just forever? So forever, no Jews can no longer walk around London in certain areas if their presence is going to be upsetting to protesters? In other words, is this a new normal? Guys, what do you think? Is this something that like fades out in a couple months as if protesters don't get what they want, or does this just keep continuing? Does this keep on? Is this the new normal? Don't know.
Something that the frontline officers that we met could do. That's something that has to come from Sir Mark Rowley himself. And if he's not willing to use his powers, then he has to be held to account by the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, and the Home Secretary, James Cleverly. Because it has been 6 months now, 6 months, where every single weekend we have to witness the street.
About time this guy's getting ticked off, because I'm like, hey, he's way too calm here. Yeah, finally. Sitting there defending all these guys and stuff and blurring out faces. Come on.
Of London, awash with people.
What, you want me to play that again?
Yeah, I just want to see the anger again. Show some anger.
Because it has been 6 months now, and if the trajectory continues as it is, Jews will not be able to walk the street.
The trajectory continues as it is, mate. It's not going to go well.
6 months now. 6 months, where every single weekend we have to witness the streets of London awash with people, many of whom seem to have no problem at all declaring their full-throated support for Hamas, waving around anti-Semitic placards, calling for jihad, showing swastikas, waving anti-Semitic flags. It's enough. Enough.
Man's got a point.
And so I'm asking you to join us, whether you're Jewish or not. The next march is on April 27th. It's a Saturday. Take a walk with us, the Jewish community, and show that we are not going to be put in a...
Hey, this is interesting. Is that like, is he saying not just any random march, but like where they're marching, Jews are going to show up? I mean, Jews and their supporters are going to show up? Because that'd be interesting.
Or told where to go by the Met, that if these marches are truly safe, then we will walk wherever we want as Londoners who are free in our home city. And if we want to wear a kippah, that is exactly what we will do. And for those of you who want to walk together, we're going to suggest a meeting point, and we'll post that meeting point up and the time and the location on Friday 26th, so that everyone sees it the day before. But feel free to meet and gather wherever you want. Let's force the Metropolitan Police Service to make London actually safe.
We should go. I want to go there.
It's pretty dope. Dude, it's in like 5 days.
I want to go there looking like this, with this. I want to have as many Jewish things as possible. I'm going to go there like this.
Hey, you need one of those arm things. I have to say, yeah, how did you not get one of those, man? You're a fan of religious objects and so on.
I don't know.
They got that super cool thing that goes around the arm. That is...
I want to walk over here. Can I walk over here, mate?
No, you got to get like a giant one. You know what I mean? You got to be rolling up with like a huge one rolling down the street.
Man,
super cool, everyone.
When will it be too much for people? Will when a time comes where the police says, "I might, I see you're wearing a cross. You can't wear that, mate. If you're going to wear that, you've got to go away, go a different way. Or I have to arrest you. If you wear that cross, I have to arrest you because you're not safe around here as a Christian. Will it come to that point? Will it be then too much? I'm sorry, but I suspect that even when it comes to that point, the reaction from the British people will be, "Oh, this is outrageous! What is happening to this country?" And that's it. That's going to be it.
Yep. And so anyway, I spent the past 2 decades warning everyone, and I'll spend the next 2 decades saying, "I told you so." What do you think can be done? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done. We are going to compare. We're going to compare all this with some clips of our Dawa friends. We're going to look at some clips of our Dawa friends and wonder why is no one showing up to talk to these guys? Strange, isn't it?
I would suspect that even if soon there were serious talks and the possibility to rename the United Kingdom into the United Caliphate, which would be UC, then the British people, those British patriotic people, would still be like, "Oh, what's happening? I can't believe this is happening in this country," and they would still just move on with that. That's it.
Yep. What do you think can be done to combat the very openly anti-Semitic crowds / protests?
Deportations.
Yeah, I would say cracking down. Yeah, make it very clear what the law is, and yeah, I would say, look, if someone wants to protest something that Israel's doing, I think they have all the right in the world to do that. People clearly keep crossing lines and openly supporting terrorist groups and calling for jihad and calling for Israel to be wiped out and stuff. That's a different category.
I'm kind of for renaming it into the United Caliphate, just so we can say, you see. Just for that, I'm actually in support of turning it into an Islamic country. But yeah, no, I would say quite radical. I would say there's nothing wrong with establishing a principle whereby anyone who voices support for a terrorist organization, without question,
yeah,
you violated the
you
rules.
Wouldn't have
Deport.
to. You
Deport.
wouldn't
Get out of here.
You wouldn't have to do this much to really change people's behavior. They do it because they know the politicians and the journalists. They know they're dealing with a bunch of cowards, and that emboldens them. If everyone's just started, nope, no, what you just said? What you just said? What you support? What? Okay, you're gone. You're locked up, or you're deported, or something like that. Nope. You are all of a sudden going to see an instant change in behavior. Instant.
Yes.
We see this as Islam versus Christianity in the West, but mustn't forget that there are others, Jews, Hindus, Sikhs, and so on, who are aware of the problem through bitter experience. Yeah, we don't. Me and AP don't think of this as Christianity versus Islam. We think of it as Islam versus everything.
Yeah, because that's what it is. Even according to the Quran, that's what it is. So.
Yep. UK police soft bigotry and anti-Semitism simultaneously. Yep, the soft bigotry of low expectations. That's where you can't correct the Islamic group because they have low expectations for them. In other words, it's people think that lots of the politicians and journalists think that by never holding Muslims accountable, they're helping them or something. No, you're holding them to a lower standard. You're treating them like they're in subhuman class or something like this, and you can't even hold them responsible for their actions. No, treat them like grown-ups. Treat them like you treat anyone else who's doing this sort of thing. In other words, label them hate groups and so on when they promote this kind of stuff. Instantly put those on your lists, SPLC and so on.
There's this guy called My Thai Skills saying IDF isn't terrorist. They killed more than all combined. I'm sorry, but it sounds like you have very serious problems and you suffer from imbecility. Because that's not how it works. By that standard, you could say, oh, a little Al Qaeda is not a terrorist organization because they didn't kill as many people, whereas the United States Army is obviously terrorist because they killed more people. That's not how it works. That's not how this works. It depends on how on what exactly the targets are, what exactly these forces engage in, what exactly they're fighting for, whether they are targeting civilian populations with the intent to genocide them, or whether they are defending their own people, and while defending their own people, or while fighting an actual war, have civilian casualties. Where Hamas, for example, openly declared multiple times that their intention is to wipe out the Jewish people and to destroy Israel and to make all of it a Palestinian Muslim country and start a caliphate. These are actual Hamas policies, actual Hamas words. This is a terrorist organization that calls for and endorses and engages in directly targeting and attacking civilians, capturing them, raping them, torturing them, burning them, and so on. Whereas the IDF is a military for a country that fights terrorism. Okay, even if they end up killing 60,000 people, and Hamas ends up killing only 2,000 people, it is Hamas that is the terrorist, and the IDF is the one that is actually a professional, a good military for a nation. Higher numbers doesn't mean anything at all. Higher numbers of bombs doesn't mean anything at all. That's not how this is being judged. So go learn something, educate yourself, read a book, or shut up.
That's a good idea. I go with that one. Oshi agrees. Was that the people? Is that the?
No, that's Osho. I don't know what Oshi is.
Oh, okay. I don't know who Oshi is. I thought that was Oshi? But the people are. That's hilarious. Just tuned in. I'm honestly prepared as a Christian in the UK. Prepared for the worst and potential prosecution here now, especially in Scotland, as me reading the Bible is hateful, I'm told. P.S. On the hoof equals UK. Okay. All right. Oh, we got another comment about on the hoof. On the hoof is an old school English saying like take it on the chin. Or why don't you just say take it on the chin then, British people? On the hoof. Anyway. Save 21523, and I started watching a 2-hour polemic video from Mike Winger to combat LDS people who tried to convert me. Islam polemics needed today. You lost me at Mike Winger. Let's see. The law is that it's a hate crime if the other person's offended, including by our presence. It makes us guilty. Thanks, guys, for covering this. That is a huge problem.
In Scotland.
Yeah.
In Scotland.
Yeah, that whole, if you offend someone, and again, when they make a law like this, it's something they will never apply to Muslims. They're never going to say, hey, you guys are saying, hey, it's right there in your book that you're quoting, that you're looking forward to the day when you're going to round up the Jews, and the Jews are going to have to run and hide. They're going to hide behind rocks and trees, and the rocks and trees are going to help you murder them all. They're not going to apply it to people saying, hey, you apostate prophet, we're going to execute, we're going to get a caliphate, we're going to kill you, we're going to kill all ex-Muslims, we're going to kill all you people of blasphemy, and we're going to subjugate all of you. They'll never apply it to them. They'll only apply it if you criticize them. So in other words, if you say, hey, I got a problem with you saying you're going to kill these, oh, shame on you, you're hurting their feelings. Nuts, man, nuts. Guys, I mean,
if you're in Scotland, they say, oh, that's a wee bit offensive. That's a wee bit offensive as a hate speech.
Isn't that weird? What they say. You sit there and watch Braveheart and you say, wow, these are the toughest people in the world. And then this happens. They all back down instantly. Isabella says, imagine printing original and uncorrupted Qurans and distributing them like Jehovah's Witnesses do. Yeah, we should put together our own, the original, authentic Christian Quran. Looks like they have a Jewish question that needs to be addressed in the West. There was one solution that cost millions of lives. History repeating itself. The leftist commies are openly demonstrating their tyranny. Yeah, human beings have a problem of putting problems off to the next generation as long as they can and until the problem is so bad that it ends up costing millions of lives, when they could have dealt with it very simply by paying attention to the people who are warning them repeatedly. Have you ever heard of the book House of Leaves? No. Andrew Tate says books are for losers.
Yeah.
Roz there. Tommy, Douglas, Ayan, Robert, they all warned us. That's true. Matter of fact, I saw it pointed out, and this is interesting.
What about David? David warned you too.
Tommy Robinson and Douglas Murray. I saw it pointed out, which I thought was interesting, because we were talking about gingers yesterday and how it's like weird. Like, again, people could make fun of someone for having too many freckles or something like that, but there's no like ill will towards redheads in the U.S. It's a weird concept. And yet I hear about there's at least certain areas where they really, really make fun of gingers over there. So it's like, oh, that's interesting. Why are you guys making fun of gingers? But another strange thing is, again, I saw it pointed out, Tommy Robinson and Douglas Murray are basically saying the exact same thing. Their takeaway message is basically the exact same thing. Douglas Murray can speak all over the place and be interviewed on every network. And Tommy Robinson, they treat like garbage and they lock him up as often as they can and threaten him as often as they can. And it's been pointed out that Douglas Murray is considered the scholarly class and Tommy Robinson is considered working class. And like there's this bias against working class. Dude, you need to shut up and you listen to your superiors and you keep your mouth shut. And they don't like the idea, which here, that would be a foreign idea to us as well. Like in the US, you could have someone saying, hey, this guy's a great scholar or something, so we'll listen to him. But the idea that someone's working class or something like this, and therefore he needs to be crushed by the government and he doesn't get to say the exact same thing that the scholarly guy is saying, or he has to be silenced and thrown in jail. That's kind of weird and creepy.
That's a good point. I never thought about that.
I'd seen it for years. They're saying, hey, they don't like him because he's working class. And I thought, come on, that's not the problem. They don't like him because he's not allowed to say there's a problem with Islam and so on. But then he's pointing, wait, Douglas Murray is saying the exact same thing that guy's saying, and he's on every news program constantly.
You're right. You're
It's
right.
weird
Douglas
stuff.
just sits down and says whatever Tommy Robinson says, but say, well, I think we need to approach this problem with this and this solution, and we should do something about immigration laws. And Tommy goes out there and says, oh, how about we stop that, mate? Don't you see the problem? And the police is like, okay, you're coming with us. Man.
It's funny. What Dawa guy would survive in the back rooms longer? I don't know. They're all weak.
Yes.
Blessed here says, how'd they react with the black Hebrew Israelite? That's a good question. If it wasn't a Jew showing up, and it was like a group of the black Hebrew Israelites showing up and all. They claim they're the real Israelites. They're the real Jews. That would be funny. Like, what are you going to do with those cops? Now you don't know what to do you? Very, very confused. Yeah, this might be a situation where we need some black Hebrew Israelites rolling up in their gear with their Stars of David and stuff on there, decked out in purple and like Darth Vader shoulder pads and stuff. Daniel Jones said, another stream with my favorite fellow ex-con Christian and my favorite ex-Muslim. You guys are awesome, and I'm proud of that. Even better than Mike Winger. Well, pretty much. It's not saying something's better than Mike Winger is not saying a lot. I mean, anything.
Well, look at how offensive this chat is. My favorite ex-con and favorite ex-Muslim, basically saying they're the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. London, as Stan sure reminds me of a cool location in Germany a couple of years ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure does. Getting there. You're getting there. Oh, hey, we have a linguistic analysis here. Kippa means dome in Hebrew. Yarmulke comes from the words Yara Melka, which is Aramaic for fear of the king God. Yeah. So my question was, do they apply to the exact same thing? Like, is one... No, I know that it sounds like they can be the same thing, but is one like a broader category that could include others, or is it like, are they synonyms? Is it a synonym? Does it mean the same? Is it like saying H2O and water? They mean the exact same thing.
This is a very good etymological background information here. Very, very nice. But yeah, it's actually just as I said earlier. I looked it up afterwards. Same thing. Kippa is Hebrew. Yarmulke is the Yiddish way of saying it because that's how they adopted it.
Mo says, communism is when you take the rights of the individual for the sake of the community. Protect the rights of the individual. The community will be free. Yeah, you see it right there. Taking the rights of the individual, Jew, for the rights of the Muslims. Please tell me that standing while peeing is damnable. That's punishment of the grave. That's like punishment, like before the judgment. But yeah, a bunch of if you stand while peeing, you are in trouble with Allah. You are going to be punished in the grave. You're unfortunately quite openly non-Muslim. Shame on you. Shame on you. Can you imagine? Because keep in mind, because we pointed out that what they just did to the Jews, you could, a couple of years down the road, you could be doing to the exact same thing to Christian. You're quite openly Christian, and that is offensive to those people. Well, what if you're a woman and you're not wearing a hijab or a burqa or something? You're quite openly not following Sharia, and therefore you're offensive to these people. And to preserve the peace, we're going to arrest you and lock you in a big prison, which is filled with a bunch of jihadis.
It's for your own safety. You look obviously like a non-Muslim.
For your own safety,
you're in danger
mate.
here.
Trying to help you by oppressing you and arresting you. Hey, here we go. Why shield Judaism when Israel hates Christians? There we go. Hey, AP, what was the statistics on Christians in Israel? Because everyone was nice to me there, and I was a Christian.
According to Christians themselves in Israel, 84% of Christians in Israel say they are satisfied.
But they're lying because they're scared of Mossad.
Yeah, why would you? But why would you ask the Christians themselves when you can just believe banks who donated $2 Australian who says Judaism, Israel hates Christians?
Hey, hang on. We got another one from this guy. Please disclose how you were paid by Israel. In shekels, dummy.
We've been saying it all the time. I don't care about Jews. I don't care about Israel. I care about money.
We're all
Israel
about the
is paying
shekels.
us money.
We're all about the shekels.
That's
here.
why I'm doing this.
We get piles of shekels, and all we have to do is destroy Muhammad.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. There we go. This makes more sense. So someone said it's like taking it on the chin. This one says on the hoof is making it up on as you go. That made more sense in light of what he was saying. You're quite openly not wearing your hijab. Yeah, that's how it's going to go, apparently. You're quite openly not wearing your hijab. Therefore, to preserve the peace. Guys, that's what... This is dead serious, right? It's, hey, what just happened to that Jewish man is insanely evil. That is really, really bad. But if you look at the trajectory where the police can just walk up to you and say, because of what you openly are, that's offensive to them, and therefore we have to come after you. Where do you draw the line then? Where do you draw the line? Anything that's upsetting to Muslims, I can lock you up for. I can lock you up because you're upsetting Muslims. When, guess what? A lot of these guys get upset if you're not like 100% Sharia compliant. So do the math. That's the direction the police are going.
Banks in the chat is saying that the 84% survey is probably not reliable because it's like they were all paid to say this.
What was that?
That idiot Banks is saying 84% in a population study,
They're
very
all
accurate.
paid.
Plus an all expenses trip.
They're all paid. Hey, hey, Banks. Hey, Banks. What's wrong with you?
You have a
time for this. I went and blocked him.
You have a sickness. You seriously have a
Hey,
problem.
Banks,
you have a sickness. You hate Jews. That's it. That's the problem. Just say it.
Banks, I just blocked you because you're clearly being paid by Nazis.
Yeah.
See how
you hate Jews. You hate Jews. You are anti-Semitic. You hate Jews. And when it's pointed out to you that you are being anti-Semitic, don't say, oh, no, you're coming with the end. No, you are anti-Semitic. You hate Jews. You have a problem with Israel, which is why you will suggest something as ridiculous as, oh, you can't trust that study. I trust what I say. I say Israel hates Christians.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was there. And I talked to a Jewish believer in Jesus who says that in 20 years of preaching in Israel, he's had one problem where his wife was attacked because security. There was a situation where they were confronting He says there is one group. There is one group that is very, very hostile. He said there's like 1% of 1%. He said they're a tiny minority, but they do get violent on occasion. So he was quite honest about that, but he said he's never had any problems apart from that. So, but who do I believe? Banks in the chat, because he's the authority, and you can't trust anything else. You can't trust what anyone says about living in Israel. You can't trust the studies. You trust Banks and Nick Fuentes and Kanye.
You have to trust Banks because Banks made a super chat with $2 Australian, which means they know everything about Israel.
Hey, here we go. We need a cut of Ali's last video with his xenomorph. Why is everyone calling her a xenomorph?
It's not a xenomorph, it's a goat. Get it right.
Guys, why is everyone talking about the wives? Yes, I find it odd that she, in her own mind, her status has been so thoroughly reduced that she can't even speak around other people who aren't her husband.
I have to say something. I
look at her as a victim of an ideology. In other words, I don't look at her as oppressor. I look at Ali Dawa and his Dawa clowns as oppressors, and they like poison the minds of you condition these young women. If you're real, the more good you are, the more you will not let anyone else see you that you even exist apart from a vague, shadowy clip. But hey, matter of fact, since it's been brought up, should we go and watch that clip in case anyone's new?
Yeah. But I feel like I do have a responsibility. Like yesterday, when when on my channel we watched the clip of Ali Dawa sitting there with his wife.
Yeah, I've got that clip
with the whiteboard and all that.
Whoa.
People started making fun of it, and it felt like people are making fun of or making jokes about her. And I did feel a little bit bad about it because I don't want my channel to turn into a place where thousands of people get together and joke about a child. You can't attack and target a child that is there and that is not even being like that is not showing her face.
Yeah. Don't insult a 5-year-old, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care. Okay, she's told, hey,
it's not right.
Yeah,
it's not right
bad
to bully little children. Don't go after a child. I don't want to form a mob where we attack, where we make fun of a child, where we attack a child. It's not appropriate.
Guys, leave the kids out of it. Even if the kid is married to a Dawa clown.
Yeah.
But just so everyone knows, gosh, I posted a little clip of this yesterday. So I looked at Ali Dawa's video and I put together the clips of the dry erase board because she's only allowed to communicate. Well, no, he actually says that this is her choice, right? It's like when they say, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The burka's their choice, right? Yeah. And you manipulate them into thinking that this is the will of the Almighty, that they have to walk around dressed like a frumpy ninja. And then so they get... So people convince her that she's really, really great if she only communicates through dry erase boards, right? This means you're really, really good. And guys, people think you can check out the comments section on Ali Dawa's video. By the way, my clip got way more views than his. I'm at 7.1 million views on Twitter, where I put out a clip that's got 7.1. I just posted it like last night. 7.1 million views. People are watching this going, are you serious? What's crazy, lots of people think it's like he's doing a skit. Like he's doing a skit. No, this is how he is. And he's saying people are praising her in the comment section. Oh, you're so great. And so it's this idea, oh, you see how humble she is. She doesn't want attention. No, it's the opposite. You want attention as like the most extreme covering yourself, so much so that people won't even hear your voice. And it's another way to get attention, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's go ahead and see, because I do have that clip. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new stage of Dawa. We've been saying for years, Islam has a pretty messed up impact on women. We were called racists and bigots and Islamophobes for that. But here's the result.
I have my wife on my right. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you well, inshallah. She's not going to be in the video, but she's going to have her say with this whiteboard that I bought her. But why is the defense?
And it comes with a little pack of crayons. She can draw all the pictures she wants.
This is so great.
It's like
that the woman is innocent.
And dude, this is right up there with the grapes. Like something makes sense in Ali Dawa's head. And guys, keep in mind for people like Ali Dawa, this is a status symbol, right? Like look at what I've been able to do with my wife. I've convinced her to be like this. You see what a real man I am.
And the man is always guilty. Okay, there's something my wife wants to say. Salama probably had enough, as women give a lot of chances.
What are the odds that Ali Dawa can actually read?
Okay, this is why I want you here. Yeah, it's very important for you to be here.
Look at him grinning.
Yeah, it's just to take the past traumas of their father or ex-husband, etc., and project it on other people.
Hold up.
Okay.
What? Play that part again, though. The last one, where he says, "Okay, my wife wants to say something." Just look at how humiliating that looks. It's like, okay, I think this child wants to say something.
Yeah, but look at his face. It's like, oh, it's so cute. She wants to chime in on this. Oh, she's so cute.
Video, but she's going to have her say with this whiteboard that I bought her. But why is the default that the woman is innocent?
The whiteboard even comes with a juice box in case you get thirsty, yeah? But there's no way for her to drink it with that thing on.
The man is always guilty. Okay, there's something my wife wants to say. Salama probably had enough, as women give a lot of chances, has zero tolerance now. Okay, this is why I want you here. Yeah, it's very important for you to be here. Yeah, it's just to take the past traumas of their father or ex-husband, etc., and project it on other people. So, okay, she's saying she made the video, not him. I don't know his opinion. Well, exactly. There you go. Okay.
I still find it difficult to believe that Ali Dawa can read. So I'm thinking he's just coming up with this stuff out of his head.
There's nothing else I have to say. Anything you'd like to say? If you do, just let me know, inshallah. The Prophet, peace be upon him, told us. He went to the hellfire. Again, I know you guys are going to be like, oh, it's a reality check. Okay. And he saw a majority of the women of the hellfire. Why? He said, not because they are ungrateful to Allah, because they are ungrateful to their husbands.
And if you was ungrateful, then you go to the hellfire. But if you was grateful, then you will use this whiteboard to say it.
Anything that I said wrong is from Shaitan and myself. Anything good is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If there's anything you disagree on, no. Okay. Are you under any duress? You can blink twice. No. Okay, that's fine. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh for myself and my dear wife. May Allah bless you for your contributions. It's a pleasure and an honor.
Have you noticed that he's way more intimate with Smiles to Jenna?
Yes.
Like it's like this formal handshake with his wife, but when it Smiles to Jenna, it's like, oh yeah, give me them big grapes right in my mouth. Yeah, put them big manly grapes right in my face. Yeah. What a weirdo, man. These guys are weird. These guys are weird and creepy, man. I don't care what anyone says.
Some people really still think this is a skit or something.
Guys, this is not a skit. Look, go to the comment section. People are praising her and Ali Dawa for this. They're like, oh, you're protecting even her voice. You're even protecting not just her appearance, but her voice. It's so great. And then there's one by a woman who's like, 2 years ago when I would have heard, I would have criticized you, but now I understand how great this is. And then Ali Dawa, of course, is saying, but this is her choice. Yeah, if she wanted to use her voice, I would let her, but this is her choice. Meanwhile, constantly praising her for being like this.
That's funny.
But we're the bad ones. We're the bad ones, ladies and gentlemen, not the guys who are programming women to think like this. PB Law here says, did you see the Met double down with an anti-Semitic apology? Also problem, boss Mayor Khan. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they would apologize after doing it, but I mean, it's all hollow. You keep having to apologize after. I mean, it's the same thing like apologizing after. We're sorry, we didn't do anything about all these guys, these who are grooming and pimping, drugging, gang raping thousands of young British girls for years, and we covered it up. Sorry. What you mean is you've been exposed, and it caused an uproar. And so now you're going to apologize. What's that? What, you're reading it?
Yeah.
What's it say?
Hold up. So I see their new post, which says, earlier we posted a statement about a video released on Thursday evening by the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism. That statement has now been removed. We apologize for the offense it caused. And then they have a new statement out there. But I'm trying to find the original statement quickly. to see what it says.
You could probably find it on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Just continue. I'll find it in probably.
Okay, I'll go through a couple more super chats, and we're gonna check out some more clips from our good Dawa friends and ask ourselves. But guys, think about this, right? A guy said to a priest in church, "Hey, what's up with things in Australia where a jihadi just walked in and stabbed a bishop repeatedly? What's going on? Why isn't the church standing up?" This guy gets confronted by British police and counselors and so on. Ali Dawa has programmed a girl into thinking that she can't even speak. Her form of communication is a dry erase board. Who's showing up? Who's showing up to him? Matter of fact, since we're on the topic of our good friend Ali Dawa,
If my daughter reached the age of menstruation at 9 years old, I would say you are ready. What's it? You are ready to get married. If my daughter reached the age of menstruation at 9 years old, I would say you are ready. What's it? You are ready to get married.
that's Ali Dawa saying that if his daughter reached the age of menstruation, we've said this before, guys, the Quran doesn't even require that. The Quran does not require for you to wait until a girl has menstruated. Surah 65 verse 4 says the exact opposite. Doesn't matter. Prepubescent girls. You can marry a prepubescent girl, have sex with her, divorce her, pass her on to the next guy. He can marry her, have sex with her, divorce her. A prepubescent girl can have 5 different husbands before she's ever reached puberty in Islam. So Ali, as disgusting as what we just heard is, he's actually much better than what Islam and his prophet require. He's way better. He's way better. But look at what he just said there. If my daughter gets menstruation at the age of 9, he'll tell her she's ready to be married. How are police not banging on his door? Right? Because keep in mind, these guys don't think that you have to do marriages that are recognized by the government. They believe you can have you can have 3, 4 wives, and it's all done through the mosque. As far as the government's concerned, these are like single mothers. They get state benefits. They think this is fine. How is no one showing up at this guy's house and saying, wait a minute, did you say you would tell your daughter she can be married? And of course, you do marriages through the mosque, not through the government. So you're actually going to would you actually pass your 9-year-old daughter on to one of your other Dawa guys, and then he passes his 9-year-old daughter on to you, and you're all banging each other's daughters all the time, and it's all recognized? Are you seriously doing this stuff? He just said it. He just said he would do that. He said it. He's on video saying he would give his 9-year-old daughter to someone to be married. So whoever it is, let's say Smiles to Jenna or something like that. Hey, I want your 9-year-old daughter. No problem. You can have her. No concern at all. No concern at all about that. And of course, you have things like this, right? You have things like this.
This is a part of our religion. There's a reason to it. Yeah? There's a reason why there's a capital punishment. Because people like you, little weaklings, who leave their religion and cause corruption in the land by spreading it, the capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt. And we're proud of that. Yeah?
That is... he's talking directly to the Apostate Prophet here. So this is a clip directed to the Apostate Prophet saying, yes, in an Islamic state, which he's fighting for, right? He says that. He keeps saying that the UK needs Sharia. UK needs Sharia. What will Sharia entail? Execution of apostates. So what is he saying? We want the goal. And there's another clip. There's another clip where he talks about... the day when trees will talk to Muslims. He doesn't say what he means. It's clear what he means, right? Yes, and the day when trees will talk to Muslims. He's talking about the prophecy of Muhammad that the end's not going to come until Jews are hiding behind trees and the trees crawl out. The trees call out, there's a Jew hiding behind me, come kill him. This guy openly talks about killing ex-Muslims. He openly talks about killing Jews. No problem. No problem. Woman silently prays near an abortion clinic. She gets arrested. Hatun Her Quran gets snatched up. She's at Speaker's Corner. They haul her off. That's why people say two-tier policing. That's why they call it two-tier police. There's two different levels of policing. If you're a Muslim, there's one standard. If you're anything else, there's a completely different standard.
Capital punish will be applied in an Islamic state.
Yeah? Capital
Not
punish
individuals going and doing it themselves like idiots. Yeah. No, under an emir, it is done. Yes, and you know what? We'll be watching. We'll be watching.
Mm-hmm. They'll be watching. They'll be watching, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, that's our good friend Ali Dawa. He's watching. And matter of fact, in another clip, there's another clip where he says he's going to be watching and eating popcorn. He's going to be watching the apostates get executed. He's going to be eating popcorn.
I'll be eating popcorn, yeah.
That's totally acceptable. Totally acceptable for everyone, apparently, in the UK. But if you're a Jew, if you're openly Jew, nope, you got a problem. You'll be arrested. If you think you can walk around like a regular person. You find anything?
I did find their original statement. It's quite long. They deleted it and then posted a follow-up statement to correct themselves, which then just created much more backlash. But the original statement, I don't know if you want me to read that whole thing.
Well, how long is it? What do you mean long? You mean like 2 paragraphs?
The video posted by the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism will further dent the confidence of many Jewish Londoners, which is the opposite of what any of us want. The use of the term openly Jewish. The use of the term openly Jewish by one of our officers is hugely regrettable. It's absolutely not the basis on which we make decisions. It was a poor choice of words, and while not intended,
choice of words.
We know it will have caused offense to many. We apologize. The issue at the heart of these protests are complex, contentious, and polarizing. When the challenges of public order policing are layered on top, it becomes a very difficult environment for frontline officers to work in. In recent weeks, we have seen a new trend emerge, with those opposed to the main protests appearing along the route to express their views. The fact that those who do this often film themselves while doing so suggests they must know that their presence is provocative.
Whoa, they're blaming him like he's a. You see look at it. You see what the Jews do? The Jew. These guys are nuts.
That they're inviting a response. Look at this. Look at the wording. That they're inviting a response, and that they're increasing the likelihood of an altercation. Imagine if they issued an apology where they react like this to a rape victim. They are also making it much more likely officers will intervene. They don't do so to stifle free speech or to limit the right to protest, but to keep opposing groups apart, to prevent disorder and keep the public, including all those taking part in or opposing the protest, safe. That is, after all, our primary role. Final paragraph. It is up to us to review these interventions and to determine whether we are getting the balance right, adapting our approach as we do so and making sure officers are supported to make the right decision, using all the power available to them. We will continue to do so following this most recent protest and ahead of future events. This, of course, caused major backlash because this is obviously victim blaming here, where they are saying that that the person who was being reprimanded and warned for being openly Jewish was there provoking a response. They then deleted this apology and posted a new apology, which is a very short one, which just says the use of the term openly Jewish is hugely regrettable. We have reflected being Jewish is not a provocation. Jewish Londoners must be able to feel safe in the city. And so on, and it says nothing at all. It's just like being Jewish is not a provocation. Jewish Londoners must be able to feel safe in the city. Okay, yes, exactly. Yes, they must feel safe in the city. What in the world are you guys doing about it? Man,
lovely, lovely, lovely. Well, I'm glad the British police have cleared that up for us, ladies and gentlemen.
The British police, like everyone else, is saying, yes, we agree. We agree. Jewish Londoners must be able to feel safe in the city. Yeah. It's everyone is telling you guys that Jewish people should be able to feel safe in the city. And you guys are supposed to be the ones to intervene and make sure that Jewish people are safe in the city. Don't parrot what we are saying. Make people feel safe here. This is what I mean. The police here in question is just embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. This is not an apology. This is nothing.
Pretty dumb. Let's see. House of Leaves is a horror novel about a house that is constantly changing and adding stuff. Also, the book format warps and changes throughout. Why do we need to know that?
Because
like
you're curious.
Like anyone could message in and talk about some book.
Because you wanted to know this.
Like, Great Expectations is a book about a guy named Pip. Tommy Robinson is hated because of his classy stunt training his dog to do a Nazi salute or whatever. No, that was Count Dankula.
That's not Tommy Robinson.
That was Count Dankula. Taran said, watch Nima and Brian beep bop boop to learn Persian accent. Also joined Navabi's stream today. And Susanna said, Hindutvas are super evil. I said, not me, though. Why would we want to learn to do a Persian accent?
It's important.
If there were accents I would want to learn, it would not be Persian.
Notice David Wood says David Wood is racist against Iranians.
No, it's the opposite. If I'm going to learn an accent, it's going to be from someone I want to make fun of. And I have no desire to make fun of Persians unless it was some specific Persian who said something really stupid or something like that. Then I would want to make fun of it.
Notice David Wood refuses to make fun of Iranians because he thinks they can't
soft
handle it.
Bigotry of low expectations. They can't handle it. Persians can't take it. They're not strong.
Yes.
They're not strong.
Notice.
Thanks for all you do, guys. Yes, that's what we're here for. In a food court in our city center, wearing an Israeli flag cap. So that's similar. That's kind of similar to mine. Wearing an Israeli flag cap with 2 small Israeli flags on my carry bag, 2 female Hamas supporters sat at my table, told me I was not welcome, and demanded I leave. I said no, so they started chanting "Free, free Palestine." It is, guys. This is this weird thing about Islam that is so different from everything else, and that it's just built into the system. We get to control what everyone else does. Even if it's in a food court in a city center, we get to control other people, tell them what to do. Just weird.
Don't be policed and bullied by these bastards.
Most annoying Nazi phrases. 109 countries. They call you anti-Semitic, but never a liar. Wooden doors. Statements about how Israel's controlling the U.S. Yeah, and everything. Anytime you say no, I don't agree with Hamas or something. Oh, you must be getting paid. You must be getting paid. Ali Dawa lives rent-free in your heads. What are you talking about? We love Ali Dawa. Ali Dawa is a gold mine. There are several gold mines, ladies and gentlemen. I say a gold mine. You don't want to destroy. If you get a gold mine, let's say you buy a gold mine. You don't want to destroy it. You want to mine the gold. And I've been saying this for years. Once you got all these gold mines in place, you got the Daniel Hakikatu gold mine, you got the Muhammad Hijab gold mine, you got the Ali Dawa gold mine, you got the Sheikh Uthman gold mine, and you ignore them for a while, and then you periodically head back to your gold mine because they are going to come out with some YouTube gold. That's how it works, and that's what you want. I mean, look at that. I mean, guys, they can prove it way better than us saying it. We can say all day long, guys, look what Islam does to women. They don't listen to us. You show them a video clip, look what Islam does to women. Oh, suddenly they start getting the point. That's why we need these guys.
And that there is the difference between a gold mine and a gold mined.
Mm-hmm. We have gold mines.
Yeah.
They're gold mines.
And then there's also golden showers, which is Muhammad Hijab.
That's something different. That's Muhammad Hijab. You're quite openly not using your whiteboard. No, this is British. Yay, we got a problem. You're quite openly not using your whiteboard there, miss. We got to lock you up because you offend all these guys to hear your voice. David, my husband took out a rock and said, if you couldn't do Urdu, then rub it and you'll be clean. I said, with my eyes open, it is real. All I could see in my mind were your bloody rocks and Islamicized me. Lord.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you have to wipe with an uneven number of stones. Yeah, I forgot about that. We did that in Islamicized. We had some rocks covered in blood because we didn't know. I'm guessing you're supposed to get pretty smooth rocks or something like that.
Pretty sure that's supposed to say wudu, not urdu. I don't know how that happened, but yeah.
Here you go. I'll wear those arm thingies. Talking about that cool thing. Yo, David, they have a name. They're called leather straps.
Yeah, I should get some leather straps. Let's see.
Yep. Let's check out another clip or two here, or 3 or 4.
They're called tefillin, by the way.
Yeah, those are super cool. You can look around at things that people from different religions have, and that is, if I had to pick one that Christians should have because it's super cool, it would be that one.
If I have to choose between a tefillin and a prayer mat, I will choose the tefillin.
All right, guys, we'll just watch. We don't want to go too long here, so we'll watch one more clip. And there's all kinds of other clips, but what we're talking about is things that don't seem to bother British officials.
Why is it so expensive
at all? What?
What? I'm looking at the tefillin thing.
I don't care if it's $10 million. It's cool.
It costs $200.
I get like, oh, you got to get that. That's worth it, man.
Why is it so expensive? I'm just
I don't know. They're probably hard to make. They're super cool.
Wow.
All right, so guys, we've seen. If you say, hey, I think the church should stand up against these guys who are coming in there and stabbing bishops in the face, British police come after you. If you're a woman praying silently in your head, anywhere near an abortion clinic, police come after you. If you are an ex-Muslim woman at Speaker's Corner and your property has been stolen, police will come after you, not the people who are targeting you. If you're a Jewish man who is openly Jewish in an area with a bunch of Muslims, police will come after you. We've seen this over and over again. What about if you're sitting there openly proclaiming in your videos, talking about secret second wives? Let's find out.
If they put me, hijab, Brother Tash, they would on lie detector test. And they said the following questions. Do you love your wife? Yes. Pass. Would you die for her? Yes. Pass. If your wife was okay, would you get a second wife? Yes. Pass. There is not a conflict between a man loving his wife and a man wanting to be polygamous.
I agree. Look, I get the polygamous part. I get the whole...
Guys, again, keep in mind, they're all talking about being polygamous right there. This is not hypothetical. You have a bunch of people doing this. I've known people who've been part of this. They're talking about being polygamous. How do you do that? How do you do that in a place like the UK? Well, yeah, you're not actually allowed to have multiple marriages recognized by the state and so on. So what do? You just get married in the mosque. And you marry one woman, you marry, or girl, 2, then 3, 4. You can marry your buddy's 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old daughter and so on. You pass these little girls around and stuff like that. You can do all this stuff. It's no problem at all. No problem at all. But here they can be openly talking about it. Like it's just, hey, it's normal. Hey, of course we want second wives. And they're trying to convince the wives, people's wives, that they shouldn't have a problem. If they have a problem with their husbands marrying 2, 3, 4 women, they're the problems. You, women, you're bad. You're bad Muslim women. You're not good, unlike Ali Dawa's wife. You can see, is she going to have a problem with Ali Dawa having a 2nd, 3rd, 4th wife? Couple of 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old girls? No, 0 problem. She's been trained. She's been conditioned. The point of this show is to condition women to behave exactly like the men want, what they want in their Islamic fantasies. And they want their women behaving exactly like Smiles to Jenna.
Wanting to have more intimacy.
What are you looking shocked at?
So tefillin apparently...
That's what you're looking at? We're like 5 hours past that.
Yeah, I was looking at cheap ones. The actual like good ones are like hundreds, $600, $1,200, because these things are specially made, crafted, handmade, written,
Of
scrolls
course.
written, put
Of
into the
course
box.
they are. You can look at them and
it's
tell
very,
they are crafted very well.
very
And
carefully.
you should have bought one from that guy on the plane. Instead of saying, "What? I'm not Jewish. Why are you accusing me of being Jewish?"
That was a very nice moment.
That was super cool.
That was a super cool moment. The guy came up to me. He was religious. He was going around, said, "Are you doing tefillin?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." No, I said no, and he's like, "Oh, have you ever done it?" I said, "No, I'm not Jewish." And he's like, "Oh," and then he goes like this, like that was interesting.
No, he
Very
attacked you
interesting
for not being Jewish, and then he spit in your face. This message brought to you by Nick Fuentes.
By the way, Infidel Noodle is in the chat and just waved and said hello. This is funny because there was just Infidel Noodle just waving hello, and I'm like, why is she doing that? Is that even the real one? And I went on her channel and it's actually the real one. So hello, Infidel Noodle.
Hello, Infidel Noodle. Ex-Muslims of the world, unite. You see what's coming at you.
Yes.
You see how police are not on your side. Tarun here says, you see, it is proof, Islamist. No, it was sarcasm. If it weren't for you, none support Islam. You said this thing. Do you deny it? Then guilty.
Alhamdulillah.
Pow. You don't know what you're talking about. AP.
Yes.
Look at the comments on Ali Dawa's cringe new show. People losing their minds because he had men and women talking to each other. Yeah.
I saw.
People are flipping out on him for free mixing. Yeah, so he needs to fix that. And it's just, matter of fact, he did fix it, right? He had the women in the other room, in the newer ones.
Yeah. I think the guy, Asim al-Hakim, the scholar, he responded to it and called it haram. And then Ali Dawa made kind of an angry-ish response to it. And it's like, thank you for your opinion.
Yeah, that's good. No, I love that. See, guys, that's the issue with the Dawa guys. That's why all you have to do is sit and wait. We do not have to respond to anything. They will destroy each other. The bigger these guys get, the less you can tell them. And if you try to tell them anything, it's, well, my channel bigger than yours, yeah, so who does that show is right? You can't tell me. It's just because you're jealous of me, yeah? You can't tell them. And so you actually want them to get more popular. You want them to blow up even more. The more they blow up, the less you'll be able to correct them. That sucks for people like Sajid, who wants to correct these guys, but it's good for us. Good for us.
With more than one woman. But if you can ask the question more accurately, that take on another wife and all the responsibilities that come with another wife, how many men...
Look at what she started off by saying.
Look, I get the polygamous part. I get the
polygamous part.
Wanting to have more intimacy with more than one woman.
I get you guys wanting to bang more than one woman. Yeah, I get it too. I'm not going to do it. I understand the urge. I understand lots of urges and desires that you want to control. It's a concept of being self-controlled. It's like, oh, I understand you wanting to bang 4 different women and girls. Yeah, I understand a guy wanting to bang 500 women and girls. I understand that. Doesn't mean you do it. Anyway.
But if you can ask the question more accurately, that take on another wife and all the responsibilities that come with another wife, how many men will agree to that?
For example, if one says, I sense that you've got a second wife, can he say, no, I don't?
Yes, you can. You can say that.
You can say that.
You know, that's Muhammad Hijab saying, so these guys all talking about, again, I understand their desire. I understand their desire. I want to bang anything. I want to bang anything, and it's going to feel good. I understand, yes. I understand someone who says, I want to use heroin. I get it. It's going to feel really good, right? Doesn't mean you do anything that you want to do. And when you get the mindset, you can do anything you want to do, and anything that you want to do is it's somehow God wanting you to do it, and therefore you go out and do it. That creates an entire culture where people have no self-control.
Alhamdulillah.
Wow.
Here, okay.
What's that? Are you
I'm
are you about to talk about Tefillin?
No. I'm going through Ali Dawa's video where he responds to Sheikh Asim al-Hakim, and the comment section is like, brother, you have a problem. You have an ego problem. Apologize. Shut this show down. Never do it again. How about you bring your own wife and let them talk to other men about intimate things? This is hilarious.
He's trying to be like the Fresh and Fit podcast, right? But for Islam.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah. Yes. But it's turning out to be, somebody earlier said, who was it? Was it Fatwa said, Dawa Love Island. Man. This is bad.
So this was Muhammad Hijab here. Let's rewind it. And Ali Dawa says, hey, if your wife, if you don't want to tell your wife that you've got another wife, a secret wife, and she asks you about it, you need to tell her. So I'm going to go through it.
How many men will agree to that?
For example, if one says, I sense that you've got a second wife, can he say, no, I don't?
Yes, you can. You can say that.
You can say that.
Yes, I personally believe this is...
Look at the girls. Like, what? Good one in the end's like, what? So Muhammad Hijab just said, yes, you can lie to your wife about having another wife. You could have a totally secret second wife on the side and keep it quiet. And she can even ask you about it. You can lie right to her face. You can lie right to your wife's face.
If we sit down and we talk about it, and I take my selfish needs out of it, i.e. me wanting him all to myself, I need to understand them. So I need to sit down and I need to really think about how this is going to affect him. It could lead him into doing zina.
Because my wife was, she always gave me the...
She say that would lead him?
I.e. me wanting him all to myself. I need to understand them. So I need to sit down and I need to really think about how this is going to affect him. It could lead him into doing zina.
Because...
Did you catch that? She said, if I'm jealous and I want him all to myself, and I don't allow him to get a second, third, fourth wife when he wants to bang lots of women and girls, then I could be causing him to commit adultery. If I don't let him get him, if I don't let him marry someone, this would be my fault. His adultery, him committing adultery, would be because I'm a bad wife who didn't let him get a second, third, fourth wife and concubines and so on. That would be amazing. Well, I don't want to be a bad wife, do I? No. Therefore, I need to be totally fine with my husband.
This is what Islam does to you. This is what Islam does to women. This is what it does to people. I'm sorry, but there is this reasoning that they always use, that these guys always use, where they say,
well, any man, if you sit him down here and his wife allows him to marry more than one wife or to have sex with other women, he will say, if he says no, it means he's a liar. Because every man wants to do that,
First off, BS. Secondly, this is not restricted to men. If you really want to talk about it, if you really want to be honest about the situation, and really want to bring it down to desires, and justify everything based on desires, I'm pretty sure, dear Dawa guys, if you sat down your women and said, okay, in a hypothetical situation, I'm pretty sure you could get some things out of your women, some desires that you personally would find very, very problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they have the desires, that doesn't mean,
oh, well, therefore, this is, I should be okay to do this,
That's not how it works, bro.
Nope. Let's get some more of this awesome stuff.
She always gave me the sort of the feeling that I could be open with her. I told her at one point that, look, babe, that's the sister.
Is that you? Yeah.
I'm possibly one of.
So this guy's talking about it, right? Keep in mind, they're talking about being polygamous, marrying multiple women, girls, in the UK, and that's all totally fine. Is anyone in the British government at all concerned about this? They're openly talking about it. No, you're too busy worrying because this woman prayed over there. This Christian woman prayed. You're not worried about these guys praying.
Talking about secret second wife. If my husband has gone behind my back, that to me is cheating. Even if it is Islamically correct.
Feminist sisters who love their sisters, who will die for their sisters, will take a bullet for their sisters, but will not share their husbands for their sisters.
Can you imagine? You're a woman and you love your sisters, but you won't share your husband with your sisters. Come on, girls, you need to be better than this. You need to be better. When you've got your sisters, you need to share. You need to share your sisters with me. You need to share your husband with your sisters. Because we want to be banging all of you. And we use this show. We're going to use YouTube to convince all you girls to let us bang all of you. Yeah?
You hypocrite. You're liars. You say you care about your sisters, yeah? Then why don't you share your husband with your sisters? You're hypocrites. You're liars. You don't care.
This show is basically, the entire show is basically shaming women into being exactly what the Dawa guys want these women to be. That's what it is. That's the purpose of the show.
Ali Dawa, be honest. Be honest. Don't be a hypocrite. Okay? Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a weakling. We can all see through you. If you care so much about Muhammad Hijab, if you care so much about your dear brother, Muhammad Hijab, why don't you let Muhammad Hijab bang your wife? Answer this question. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a liar. What's wrong with you, man?
Mm-hmm. Stop being, yes, you love your brothers, but you won't share your wives with your brothers.
Yeah.
So the point is this, let me be real, yeah? If you got a good husband, by the way, I'm not talking about these guys who don't pray, jahil, clowns.
Talk about high value men. Watch this. High value men.
Yeah, who don't pray, who oppress their wives. A good man who practices, who fears Allah, who's good to his wife, takes care of.
He gets to bang lots of women because he's so good. He's such a good, strong, high value man. He gets to bang lots of women.
Wife. He comes and he says, I want a second wife. All hell breaks loose. And then we blame this man. Yeah, but why are you keeping it secret? What else should he do?
This is a
shame on him.
To see how Allah is testing her, to see how she responds.
Yeah.
If she decides to do the opposite, which is, throw the divorce card or throw this card, then ultimately she's falling into the act of disobedience.
Thank you.
You catch that? And look, he's praising her. What did she just say? That when your husband wants a second, third, fourth wife, Allah is testing you to find out if you're an obedient woman. If you're a good woman, a good Muslim girl, you're going to say, oh, yes, I'll help you. Just pick out which of my friends you want and I'll get her for you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, you're a good woman. You're a high value woman because you let me bang lots of girls and you'll help me find them and then I can marry them and bang them and then trade them in and then I can marry this guy's 7-year-old daughter and I can bang her until she goes through puberty and then I can trade her in for another young girl. This is sick, man.
This one is
I'm now expected as a Muslim man to follow. It's not the religion of Islam. It's the religion of women's feelings. I'm not going to follow that religion. With respect to you, I'm not going to do prostration to the collective hormonal and emotional status of men or women or children or anybody else.
You're saying,
isn't this funny? I'm not worshiping your feelings. No, I'm not worshiping your desires. I worship my own desires. We've created a religion that is centered on our own desires, and we get to do whatever we want.
And this is how they have corrupted the true religion of Allah, and the Muslims. They have corrupted the true religion and the true revelation of Allah by following their own desires and taking their own desires as gods besides Allah. Shame on them. May Allah destroy them.
Husband came to you man enough and said to you he wants a second wife.
At least then it's not secret.
Sister,
I knew
one
about it.
One second. Do you know about it? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna say to me, yeah, you can? Thank you. Your face says enough.
If he knows that she would withhold the kids from him, use the state, then do it without her knowledge.
But I believe that's a form of
do it without her knowledge. If she knows and she's going to divorce you and cause problems with your kids and so on, just.
You said, bro, and I'll call them cowards, who would rather make their wife happy at the displeasure of Allah. Yeah? Coward, the biggest coward ever, that would go and commit zina, adultery, at the cost of my wife. You are the biggest simp ever with a capital S.
You see that? There. If you're a coward, you're a coward. If you let your wife decide. If you actually care what your wife thinks, when Allah is totally good with you going and banging lots of different women.
The great God Allah. You must care about His feelings.
So guys, think about the takeaway there. These are not random. These are not random people with 2 followers, ladies. You could find a random person from tons of different backgrounds and just be a total dirtbag. These are the guys who become popular. What do these guys say? What are these guys doing for the Muslim community? They're saying, women,
urinating upon one another.
If you do not want your husband to marry 2, 3, 4 women and girls, you are bad. You're a bad wife. You're evil. Shame on you. Allah is going to despise you. No wonder you're going to hell. No wonder you're going to hell. You're not sharing your girlfriends with your husband. You're evil. You're going to hell. As for you men, what kind of pathetic, weak coward would take his wife's feelings into consideration? What kind of pathetic, disgusting weakling would say, oh, my wife doesn't want me to have 4 different wives, and therefore I'm going to try to please my wife instead of pleasing Allah, who wants you to bang lots of women.
You make me sick. You're sick.
Any police knocking on Ali Dawa's door over this stuff? No, they don't care. They're too busy. Look, a woman over there, her Quran got stolen, and she's upset about it, and she's a Christian, and she's about to get, she's surrounded by a bunch of Muslims who are angry, so let's arrest her.
This is how Islam treats women. This is how Islam treats other people. This is how Islam treats the people that are the most intimate in your life. I mean, in my life, my wife is the closest person to me, and I trust her. She trusts me. I share with her whatever there is. I take her feelings into consideration when I need to do something, and vice versa. But in an Islamic relationship, the way it should be according to Ali Dawa, it's like, this is shameful, this is disgusting, this is cowardice. It's cowardice. You have to care about Allah's feelings, not the woman's feelings, because Allah will cry if you don't care about his feelings.
Yes, and if you disagree, then write it on the dry erase board. Well, smiles to Jenna, dangles the grapes in my mouth. Yeah. All right, guys. If my 11-month-old gets puberty, yeah, I'll tell her you are ready to get married. So this is putting together a couple clips if you're new here. So Ali Dawa says that if his 9-year-old daughter got menstruation, he would tell her she's ready to be married. We pointed out the Quran does not require that. The Quran specifically allows you to have sex with prepubescent girls. But you do have people like Ali Dawa who thinks that you're supposed to wait for something. But Daniel Hakikachu said that all you have to do is wait for any kind of signs and so on. And Inspiring Philosophy, Mike Jones, pointed out that there are cases of girls getting precocious puberty as early as 11 months old. So Ali Dawa would have to say, yeah, if you reach the age of 11 months, I would tell her, even though she can't speak yet, I would tell her you are ready to be married to one of my Dawa pals.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, guys, we oppose this, so we're the bad ones. These guys talking about marrying prepubescent girls or prepubescent girls and stuff, child marriage, they're the good guys. These guys programming to be like what we've seen in Ali Dawa's videos. These are the good guys.
You know what's funny?
Hey, Ridvan, you look cute in a yarmulke. See? It says right here.
Dude. Yeah. In several Muslim countries, including in Saudi Arabia, it is a crime to publicly show affection toward your wife, for example. So if you are in public and you give your wife a hug, that is considered public indecency.
Yeah, but you'll see those dudes walking down the street holding hands and kissing each other.
Yeah.
So maybe that's impacted Ali Dawa. You're my wife. We keep it very formal. I shake your hand. Oh, Smiles to Jenna, you're a guy. Come dangle the grapes in my face, yeah.
So if you hug your wife in public or hold her hands and walk together, that's like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're corrupting the masses. You will go to jail. Are you sick? But if you walk hand in hand with a man, and you give each other kisses on the cheek, it's like, hey, look at that, brotherly love.
Or on the mouth. I've seen those dudes kissing on the mouth. Ayatollah and stuff, and I'm going to kiss you like the Black Stone.
Hugging your wife in public is bad, but public executions are good. That's the...
Welcome to Islam, man. The perfectly functioning moral compasses of the Dawa clowns.
Yeah. And getting graped on live streams. That's
to hear a Persian accent, look at... Why does everyone think... The taxi driver from How I Met Your Mother. He's an Iranian actor, perfect Persian accent. Why does everyone think we're trying to learn a Persian accent? I'm specifically saying we're not trying to learn a Persian accent.
David, if you want to learn a Persian accent, you should probably watch, what's it called?
How I Met Your Mother. Oh, yeah. Perfect Persian accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Xerxes.
I hear you wanted to make a Persian accent, so go watch that.
And then you could get a perfect Greek accent from the Spartans.
Yes.
What's weird is ancient Greek accents sound exactly like Scottish or something.
That's weird.
Jesus taught that he is God on many occasions. True. Once hijab confirms.
But where did he? Show me where in the Bible it says. It
I
says
am God worship me.
God worship me.
Yeah, I made a video about that. Once hijab confirms Mo is Muslim, shut it down. No, got to let him keep going. Ali Dawa's face reveal at 666 million. Ali Dawa's wife's face will reveal at 6.66 million subs. You gotta wonder what happens though, because
then she will be old enough. So.
Yeah, I mean, on a serious note, you've got these ladies who are marrying these Dawa clowns because they're super popular right now. Guys, Dawa guys do not last long. Look at the Dawa guys from 2007, 2008, 2009. Where these guys go? You got the same Christian. You got the same Christian apologists. What's that?
That sounded very weird.
What? What'd I say? What'd I say? I don't remember what I said.
They're marrying Dawa guys because they're famous, but
yeah.
Dawa guys don't last long.
Oh yeah.
That's what you said. It sounds a little.
No, I'm saying, see, each new Dawa guy, he comes along, he's got some new trick that he uses to become popular, and people eventually catch on to the trick, and then these guys use their popularity to do what Ali Dawa was doing, and then eventually, over time, they become an embarrassment to the Muslim community, and then the Muslim community starts shunning them. And it's like, well, gosh, you married this dude. You've got 2 kids with this dude who's now regarded by the Islamic community as a liability. And he's regarded as a clown.
Yeah.
So, sucks for
You
these
heard
girls.
it here first.
Yep, watch.
You heard it
It'll
first.
happen. It's going to happen. Watch.
Don't
Farfour
marry
says-
Dawa guys because Dawa guys don't last long. Yeah.
Farfour says, AP, you are saying a Jewish man hit you because you are not Jewish? You see? That's what they do.
That's a good interpretation of things. Yeah.
From the river Thames to the sea, Atlantic Sea, the UK will cease to be. Do Ali Dawa voice. Don't say what's in. Please bless all. Please don't say what's in what.
From the river to the sea, the UK will cease to be.
From the river to the sea, yeah. The UK will cease to be.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Ali Dawa is Farfour. We're not disputing that. You don't need to state your case. We agree.
That's a fact.
Let's see. Ali Dawa's mom is hijab's secret wife for real? Don't know. I would not put anything past these guys. I have no idea. TikTok time to cook. What are all these comments coming from? In 1 year, they will talk about wife swapping being halal. Yeah, they will. No, they actually do that. They actually do. In other words, you stay married to. I heard this from an ex-Muslim. He said at his mosque they basically pass all the ladies around. It's not instant. You have your requirements, but you can marry her. Have her for a while until you're bored with her, and then pass on. Then she has her waiting period and so on. She's got to wait a few months, and then she marries the next guy and stuff. And they basically pass them around.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as in 1 year, it's like, okay, notice, I mean, Ali Dawa, he's like keeps taking everyone a step further and a step further and a step further. If they're already last year, they were talking about secret second wives and so on. And now he's got his wife only communicating through a dry erase board. What are things like next year? If this is considered totally acceptable for a guy with over 1 million followers, like what is next year? It's only going to get worse, guys. Only going to get worse.
Muslim brothers will love their brothers and take a bullet for their brothers, but will not share their wives with their brothers.
Shame on them. Me, when I hear Ali Dawa and Mojab wants to shoot himself.
Nice.
Let's see. When the two Hamas supporters started chanting at me in the food court, a large crowd gathered and the police arrived and made them stop. That's good. That's actually good. Because there are different places and different situations where you'd have been the problem. Mm-hmm. That's just an exaggerative joke. Sorry, it's too much. Yeah, keep in mind, after we've been on for a couple hours, our brains are pretty fried. And we always make fun of people for not understanding our jokes, but we don't always understand other people's jokes either. People in the comments also asked Ali to censor the women more because they might give them desires, even though they're wearing hijab already. Yeah, like what's the point if it's just going to cause desires?
I just looked at his videos at one of those videos where they're gathering with the Muslim women and sitting down and talking to them, and I had big trouble controlling myself.
Yes, what are you doing? Your videos are giving me a boner.
Yeah. They're talking to each other there about secret wives, secret marriages, and so on.
What do you expect? Like Muhammad, I have the sexual strength of 30 men, and you're showing all these zaboobas in front of me. All these girls with the zaboobas.
Nice.
We gotta, as despicable as the dudes are, you've got to love them because they're really helping us expose Islam. I wonder what's next. I mean, once you had the sort of dream team of destroying Islam from within, so Hakikachu and Ali Dawa and Muhammad Hijab and Sheikh Uthman, then it's like, where can it go from here? And it sucks because Andrew Tate came in there and I was like, oh, he's going to be better than all of them. But his popularity has been rapidly declining as it's obvious that he's going to be spending a long time in jail. So kind of sucks. Thought he was going to be like the one to rule them all. And now he's becoming more and more of a silly clown, but the day is still young. We got Sneeko now. We're going to get some more people, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get some more.
He's being too obviously bad. I saw a tweet today that was like by a popular Muslim account. It has like over 1,000 likes. It says, unfollow Andrew Tate and mute him. I don't want Muslims to be exposed to such filth and stuff like that. So he's increasingly getting more and more unpopular among Muslims, which is a shame.
Yeah, it sucks. Really, really sucks. Yeah, matter of fact, someone had posted, he took it down really quick, but he posted that unless you're with a virgin, you're gay because the guy's penis has been, some other guy's penis has been, on this girl, and then you're there too. And so you're basically, it's like you're touching his penis and so on. It's like, but he took it down because I wanted to respond going, only Aisha. Aisha was the only virgin that Muhammad was with. Everyone else was, so Muhammad's like really, really gay according to him, but he took it down. Anyway.
Muhammad was gay. You heard it first.
Gay. Top G has the proof. You see, this is the proof. AP is a Mossad agent. The yarmulke is the proof. Zionists exposed. AP is scared of Ali Dawa. No grapes, just raisins. You're saying this is the proof. This was not in dispute. We knew all this.
Yeah.
Online Dawa guys don't last long, but we do. Go GoTub. Over at GoTub, online Dawa guys don't last long. What's wrong with you?
Nice.
If Ali Dawa senses that Mo Hijab secretly married his mom and asks him about it, is Mo Hijab allowed to lie or must he tell the truth? That is a good question. That should be brought up in the comments. So guys, keep in mind the questions that are being asked, like, hey, if Muhammad Hijab, if Muhammad Hijab is worried about a woman, his wife, not accepting multiple other wives, he can lie to her. So what would happen in this situation? I do not know. Monologic said, ever thought of dedicating each live stream to past victims of Islamic terrorism? They should never be forgotten. Unfortunately, there are so many. Yeah, you couldn't cover them all. I mean, how many live streams would you need to do?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. One more. The Xenomorph Man. A Muslim friend of mine rejects critiques of Muhammad due to the Bible not even having an age of consent. Is there anything explicitly to refute this? Well, you have a passage in Ezekiel which talks about the age of love, but it talks about a woman being fully grown. And so, but it's the Bible's different. Like Islam is rule based, right? Unless you have a rule from God commanding you to do something specific, you just don't know. You have no clue what you're supposed to do. You're in a state of ignorance until God gives you a command. In Christianity is principle based. It's principle based. It's loving others, not harming others, things like that. Even taking like the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you were a 5-year-old girl, would you want some old creepy Heaven's Gate looking dude banging you?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. If I was a 5-year-old girl, 6-year-old girl, 7-year-old girl, 8-year-old girl, 9-year-old girl, would I want some creepy old dude banging me? No, I want to be playing with dolls. That's what I would want to be doing. Therefore, don't be banging little girls. Golden rule. Yeah. So anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's the state of the police in the UK. Christians have been having problems for a while. You are second-class citizens, apparently. And now even Jews are second-class citizens, and it's open game, and the police will arrest you as a Jew for your presence being upsetting to protesters. But if you're a Muslim, you could talk about sex with little girls. You could talk about publicly executing ex-Muslims. You can talk about being polygamous. You could talk about all this stuff. They will never, ever, ever even look twice in your direction. Guys, what is this? We said it earlier. There's a system. There's a system of Islamic law called Sharia, where Muslims have a special status. Everyone else, at best, is second-class citizens. You end up with the same exact system in the UK already. Already, the Muslims have a privileged status in the UK, and they're a minority. What happens when you get to 50, 60% of the population? Right. AP, any final thoughts on anything before we close out?
No. Everything good. Just want to say thanks everyone for listening. Toda Rabba and Shalom everyone, and happy Passover, and yeah.
Yep. And again, everyone, for anyone who's a channel member, there will be a video up sometime by tomorrow morning. I'm going to edit it. Might take me a little while, but I'm going to edit it tonight. So it'll be up by tomorrow morning. And so that will be there tomorrow. Everyone else had it. That's my video for Tuesday, but I'm going to upload it sometime late tonight. So channel members can see it early. All right. And we'll catch you all. We'll catch you all next time. Keep exposing Islam, ladies and gentlemen. Got to be relentless. Got to be relentless. Got to be relentless against evil.
Am Israel Chaya, Alhamdulillah. Inshallah.